We are back here on the Ridge here tonight on Gridiron Game Day. It is homecoming at West Ridge High School as Hardin Valley Academy is in town to take on the Wolves for the first time ever between these two schools. Again, thanks for tuning in. He is Ron Marvel. I'm Chris Mangrum for Gridiron Game Day here on BTES Power 7. We want to thank you for tuning in from anywhere in the world. As you know, each and every week our broadcasts are live on YouTube at BTES Videos. We've gotten a lot of great comments about our streams so far this season. Believe it or not, already our 4th game of the year, and just another fantastic season of football. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube, on Channel 7 and 207 for BTES, and of course on the BTES website for our BTES Internet customers. Ron, we've got Hardin Valley in town tonight. Let's talk a little bit about first the home team, West Ridge, who has had a really good start to the season. They're 2-1, but coming off a tough loss last week. Yeah,
a bit of a hiccup last week. And, you know, when you look at that game, the interesting thing about it is not necessarily how close it was. I mean, it was a 21-19 game. But what's rather remarkable is the fact that West Ridge was able to stay in that game with 100 yards in penalties, 4 turnovers. I think that's a statement about where this program is, that they could play that poorly, as Coach Hilton explained to us, and still be able to keep that game. They made Elizabethton last week, which, by the way, is a very good team, sweat it out.
Yeah, 2-point loss to a team when you make all those mistakes. Certainly, West Ridge was kind of kicking themselves last week after that one. They really could be sitting at 3-0 right now. Now, for Hardin Valley, this is a team that went 1-9 last year. Well, look at this year, already 2-1. They've doubled their win total for the season already. We're just 3 games in, but they kind of ran into a buzzsaw last week.
Well, and I would encourage everyone not to look too much into that 49-0 win last week. I mean, or loss last week against Bradley Central. That's a very, very good Bradley Central team that just 2 years ago was playing for a state championship team against Oakland and almost won the state championship. They come out of a conference that's incredibly difficult between Bearden and Cleveland and Bradley Central, and let's not forget Maryville. So they play a level of competition that really prepares them week in and week out. And I really, really like, we'll talk about this more tonight, I really like what Coach Wynn is doing right now to turn this program around.
Definitely a challenge with all those talented teams in that region. And as Coach Hilton told us this week, they haven't had a lot of success, teams up in this area going down and facing off against teams that are kind of in the Knoxville area. So it'll be an interesting challenge. Both these teams are in Region 6 or Class 6, some of the highest attended schools in the state of Tennessee. All right, we'll see more about that. But first, we've got more coming up tonight. Leslie, tell us more.
Thanks so much. We are looking forward to that football game that's going to take place on the field, but we also have a lot going on here on the sidelines. After homecoming, I believe it should start here in about 10 minutes or so. After homecoming, I'm going to try to grab an interview with the King and Queen. I also have several interviews that will take place down here on the sidelines. All throughout the game, we will see performances from the Alphas dance team as well as a performance from the band. So a lot going on, not just football, but a lot going on down here on the sidelines. So make sure that you stick around all game long for that. Back to Chris.
Lots going on. You mentioned homecoming. It's neon night here. You'd have to be blind to not see all the colors in the stands. Looking forward to a good night here on the Ridge as West Ridge looks to go 3-1 this season. They've been 3-1 in the last 2 seasons, so looking to make it 3 straight for the Wolves, a 3-1 start to their season. Thanks for tuning in. We will take a short break, and we'll be right back here. It's Gridiron Game Day on the Possum Pregame Show here from West Ridge.
In the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, where the spirit of community runs deep, Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services has been a cornerstone in our area for almost 80 years. Founded in 1945, BTES began with a simple mission: to bring reliable electricity to every home and business in Bristol. Through decades of dedication, innovation, and unwavering service, we've powered dreams and brightened lives. Today, we stand as a testament of progress, offering state-of-the-art services while honoring our rich legacy. Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services, our community's trusted resource for energy and connectivity. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Welcome back to Westridge High School. You see the nice aerial view of homecoming here tonight at the Ridge as the Wolves take on the Hardin Valley Academy team out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Thanks for tuning in here live with us on Gridiron Game Day again this week. Appreciate you tuning in. Now, both teams in this game, Ron, are coming off of a loss. Both teams looking to bounce back. We haven't quite gotten into region play yet, but let's take a look at kind of the landscape of this Region 6 that Westridge has to deal with. Used to be 6 teams in the region, but now just 5. 4 of those teams make the playoffs, so one team's getting left at home eventually. Yeah,
that's a lonely feeling being the odd man out. Hey, we really don't know a whole lot, right? I mean, we think we kind of do, but we really don't know a lot because they've not played these region games right now. We got a chance to see Science Hill. From what I saw last week, I think Westridge is going to be very competitive. That should be a very good game between them and the Hilltoppers. Not really had a chance to see Dobbins Bennett yet. That's always a very good matchup. Probably the game I'm most interested in is, and I've even thought about making the trip down there to Jefferson County to go see it, and that is when Westridge takes on a very schematically difficult team to plan for in Jeff County.
I got a pizza.
You got a pizza?
Yeah, they're handing out pizzas down here. Mr. Witcher just handed me one, so this is for later, I suppose.
Okay.
All right, I'll set that to the side for now. Hey, all right, so let's look at the standings for Region 6. Again, not many region games yet, but you see the records here, and there's some familiar names at the top. We know last year Dobbins Bennett, Science Hill, and Jeff County kind of got those top 3 seeds. Westridge and Morristown East missed the playoffs. One of them's going back at least, but Westridge has plans, maybe not just to get the final seed, but maybe push up towards the top of those standings.
And by the way, I think that we're going to know more about Dobbins Bennett and Science Hill tonight, because they have 2 very good matchups, both on the road, as Dobbins Bennett's going to travel to play a very, very good Oak Ridge team. And Science Hill, likewise, is taking on Bearden. We've already talked about sometimes the talent disparity between Region 2 and Region 1. We'll see tonight as those 2 teams take on those typical Region 6A2 powerhouses that typically place pretty well come playoff time. Should be interesting tonight. We'll be giving you updates on those scores as they come in.
And we were told by Coach Hilton that they purposefully scheduled a very tough non-conference schedule to get them ready for some of those games. And here, this team, Hardin Valley, maybe not one of the traditional powers in that second region down there towards Knoxville, but still a big school, really big school down in Knoxville. So this will be a challenge for the Wolves. Here's what Coach Hilton had to say about this coming week's game.
You know, we had some missed opportunities. We had too many penalties. We made too many mistakes, but nothing that we can't improve on and grow from. So we're excited moving into this week to be able to kind of move on from that game. You know, we played them close, and we're looking forward to getting that taste out of our mouth and moving forward and playing Hardin Valley. Yeah, I mean, it's the old cliche of it's a game of inches, truly, and it came true. You know, any little mistake got magnified in a game that close, and we gotta eliminate those things and continue to improve each week. A lot of good skill guys. They've got a lot of good skill players, especially on the outside. We'll have to be able to match up out there, and they'll force us to play a little man coverage, but I like our matchup inside with them. I think in the line of scrimmage we'll be okay. Very sound defense. I coached with their defensive coordinator at Sullivan South in the early 2000s. I know that they're going to try to take away what we want to do, and that's going to be Ethan Amick's running the ball, so some other guys are going to have to step up and make plays. You've got to limit turnovers and penalties, and when the opportunity presents itself, some of those guys on the outside are going to have to step up and make a play. Everybody loves homecoming except the head coach, right? So everybody's going to have a good time, and we do want them to enjoy it, and it's hopefully memories they're going to have forever, but there's still a football game to be played, and there's going to be a lot of folks here to watch it, and we've worked too hard to not be focused, so just maintain that focus.
All right, you heard a little bit more about what Coach Hilton had to say about Hardin Valley. As you see it is homecoming night, as we'll get to those festivities here shortly. You see a couple football players involved in the homecoming festivities, so those are coming up real soon. You heard Coach Hilton there, Ron, talk about how with the success that Ethan Amix has had early in the season for the Wolves, getting loud, but the success that Amix has had early in the season for the Wolves, that teams are going to try to start taking him away, and Coach Wynn was very impressed with this Westridge team.
Yes, very impressed with Amix and just how much of a downhill physical runner he is. Hey, let's be real honest. He shared with us, Coach Wynn, that this is the only option team that he sees. And I can't explain to you how difficult it is in preparation as you look at an option team. It's not an easy thing. One of the things, too, that he talked about was Mac on the edge and how impressed he was in picking up blocks. My favorite quote so far this year was Coach Wing's explanation or description on this team. He called them dang sporty. Now, I don't know what that means, but I kind of like it. I'm going to be using it quite a bit from now on.
Westridge football, dang sporty.
Dang sporty.
All right. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more pregame festivities. You are watching the Possum Pregame Show here from Westridge High School. It's Gridiron Game Day.
Timeless country.
Oh, play me some mountain music.
She said, here she wants his fancy, don't let me down.
The good stuff that brings back so many memories. 96.3, The Possum.
And that's why I hang my hat in Tennessee.
96.3, The Possum.
A special night here at Westridge High School tonight, as it is homecoming, and we are getting prepared to send it to the field to learn even more.
Kennedy is the daughter of Cindy and Todd Akard. Her future plans are to attend ETSU and major in art education to be an elementary art teacher. Kennedy is being escorted by our first male candidate, Mr. Flynn Botcher. He is the son of Matt and Becky Botcher. Flynn's future plans include majoring in biology and going to medical school to become a pediatrician. Miss Kennedy Akard and Mr. Flynn Botcher. Our second candidate is Miss Kaylin Bright. Kaylin is the daughter of Jennifer Bright and Travis Bright. Her future plans are to go to ETSU and major in communication sciences and disorders to become a speech-language pathologist. Kaylin is escorted by Caden Duke. Caden is the son of John and Jessica Miller. His future plans are to attend East Tennessee State University in the fall. Ms. Kaylin Bright and Mr. Caden Duke. The third female candidate is Miss Carly Brown. She is the daughter of Barry and Tracy Brown. Carly's future plans are to become a florist. Mr. Keaton Faust is our next male candidate. He is the son of Chuck and Carrie Faust. Keaton's future plans are to attend Northeast State for 2 years, then finish a 4-year degree in project management at ETSU. Miss Carly Brown and Mr. Keaton Faust. Next, we welcome Miss Laura Beth Gibbons to the field. Laura Beth is the daughter of Greta and Andrew Gibbons. Her plans are to attend University of Tennessee and study journalism. Laura Beth's escort and next male candidate is Mr. Levi Johnson. He is the son of Brad and Lori Johnson. Levi is currently enlisted in the National Guard and will be trained as a biomedical equipment specialist, then plans to attend the University of Tennessee, Knoxville for biomedical engineering. Ms. Lori Beth Gibbons and Mr. Levi Johnson. Our fifth female candidate is Miss Lily Henry. She is the daughter of Brian and Tammy Henry. Lily's future plans are to attend a local college and major in radiology and minor in music. Our next male candidate is Mr. Shepard Johnson. He is the son of Alan and Stephanie Johnson. Shepard's future plans are to attend the University of Tennessee College of Business. Miss Lily Henry and Mr. Shepard Johnson. Next, we have Miss Miley Hibbs. Miley is the daughter of Lori and Ted Hibbs. Her future plans are to attend East Tennessee State University and become a labor and delivery nurse. Miley's escort is Mr. Caleb Mabb. Caleb is the son of Dennis and Candace Mabb. Caleb plans to become a barber. Miss Miley Hibbs and Mr. Caleb Mabb. The seventh female candidate is Miss Jaden Lingerfeld. She is the daughter of Rachel and Michael Smith. Jaden plans to attend East Tennessee State University and become a labor and delivery nurse. Our next male candidate is Mr. Tanner Mims. Tanner is the son of Billy and Tricia Mims. He plans to attend a four-year college as an undeclared major and play lacrosse and rugby. Miss Jaden Lingerfeld and Mr. Tanner Mims. Our next female candidate is Miss Callista Page. Callista is the daughter of Jessica and Dustin Page. Her future plans are to major in music and minor in education. Mr. Zach Sawyers is our next male candidate. He is the son of Eddie and Aaron Sawyers. Zach plans to further his education and attend East Tennessee State University. Miss Callista Page and Mr. Zach Sawyers. Now let's welcome back to the Ridge our 2024-2025 homecoming king and queen, Andy Aki and Izzy Bellamy. Our 2025 homecoming queen is Callista Page. And our 2025 homecoming king is Caleb Mabb. Ladies and gentlemen, your homecoming queen, Callista Page, and homecoming king, Caleb Mabb. Congratulations to Callista and Caleb and the entire 2025 homecoming court. Thank you to Andy and Izzy.
All right, congratulations to the homecoming royalty here for Westridge. It's again Callista Page for homecoming queen and Caleb Mabb, who we'll see out on the football field here in just a little bit as the homecoming king, as this special night here at the Ridge, as you see neon in the stands as we get prepared for Westridge and Hardin Valley Academy coming up here shortly.
Hey, I'm Josh Warner. I'm the franchise owner-operator at Chick-fil-A at the Pinnacle in Bristol, Tennessee. I joined Chick-fil-A in 1996 as a teenager and worked for Chick-fil-A through college, and we've loved being able to come back to Bristol and open our Chick-fil-A here. We have been very thankful and appreciative for the work that BTES has done for us with the reliability of their services. We've been pleased to use them for our internet and phone services as well as electrical utilities. Everything has been phenomenal, especially the business services division, which has provided great support for us.
And welcome back to West Ridge High School here on Gridiron Game Day. I'm here with the homecoming king and queen. Let's talk about all that you're involved with here at West Ridge.
I play football and I run track, and I'm really interested in barbering, and I'm in the barbering class, the new barbering class.
Awesome. What about you?
I'm in the Key Club. I'm a student ambassador. I'm in National Honor Society, Pep Club, Triumph Music Honor Society, and Beta Club.
What does being named king mean to you?
It feels really cool to me that the whole school chose to pick both of us, and just feels really amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you?
It's nice to know that people know who I am. I definitely didn't expect that, but of course it's super nice to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. What are your plans after high school? You mentioned the barber program.
Yeah, I would really love to become a barber after school. I've been working really hard to get my hours and hopefully get my license by the time I graduate.
What about you?
My plan is to major in music and minor in education and attend ETSU.
Great. Well, congratulations on being named this year's homecoming king and queen, and we wish you the best of luck on the football field tonight. We'll be back right after this.
We use energy in powerful ways. But for our region, there's more to it than keeping the lights on. Because we're served by public power, owned by the people who live here. It's for all of us. So the initiatives we're able to support have one purpose: helping our communities thrive. We're bringing the benefits of our potential to everyone. That's community energy, and it's happening all around us. Like more job opportunities and growing neighborhoods, outdoor recreation thanks to our protected lands and waterways, supporting local education, local business, and investing in the things we care about. You see, it's about more than power. It's about how we use our energy for a better tomorrow. That's community energy. That's the power of us.
Timeless country.
Oh, play me some mountain music.
She said, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down.
The good stuff that brings back so many memories. 96.3, The Possum.
And that's why I hang my hat in Tennessee.
96.3, The Possum.
Welcome back to West Ridge High School. We are getting ready for week 4 of Gridiron Game Day. Hard to believe we're already that far out into the season. Another primetime matchup of two of the biggest schools in the state of Tennessee, both in Class 6, here as Hardin Valley is here to take on West Ridge. And as we dig in a little bit more to how this game will unfold, let's take a look at some of our key players to watch, one on each side, starting with Hardin Valley, as we learn a little bit more about the Hawks. And start with Samuel Mann, who is a linebacker for Hardin Valley, but you might see him on offense a little bit, Ron. He's their leading tackler, but they're not afraid to give this guy a chance to go into the Wildcat and score some touchdowns.
Hey, you know, 39 tackles so far on the season. You can project that out, right? That's about 120. That is a season and a half for a young man. When you watch him on tape, he moves horizontally very well, doesn't get his feet crossed up, and he hits very well. I'm excited the first time when I see Amix come through and he connects with Samuel Mann to see what that conflict is going to look like.
Yeah, Mann had 115 tackles last year, so productive in his junior season, and again, looking to be one of the key leaders in his senior year for the Hawks. And on the other side for West Ridge, our player to watch tonight is Justice Hilton. Last time we were here at West Ridge, it was his first start against Tennessee High. That was a win for the Wolves. And you might say, well, maybe Ethan Amix is the player to watch. You could say that anytime Westridge steps on the field, but we started to see teams try to take Amix away, and that makes Justice's job even more crucial.
Yeah, he does such a good job reading that defensive end. I talked to Coach Hilton just coming on the field just a little bit. His eyes first go to the defensive end, then to the corner, then upfield to the linebacker, and he does that very well. Hey, 3 picks last week, and 2 of those probably not his own, but has done very well, this young man has.
All right, so those are some of the key players, but now, Ron, let's talk a little bit more about some of the matchups that are really interesting in this game. 2 talented teams, lots of speed on the field, lots of big guys up front. What are some of the matchups you're going to be keeping an eye on tonight?
Well, first of all, let's talk about Nick Rivers, and you and I have talked about him a lot this week. The young man runs the 100 in 10.5, 7 in that range. I'm going to tell you, that's crazy fast. Amix is fast. That's a different level of fast. Very well may be the fastest kid in Knoxville. He's going to be going up against Jackson Walsh tonight. And if you're Jackson Walsh with that kind of speed, you have got to jam him at the line. I don't care if they throw the football 6 to 8 times, Chris. It only takes 1 to score a touchdown. So they need to jam him up front. The other thing I'm looking forward to is that matchup between Durgan Ragland and Tanner Mims. Tanner Mims just 5'8", Durgan Ragland 6'5", 280 pounds. Now that almost sounds like a David versus Goliath, but I'm going to tell you what, Tanner Mims is tough as nails. My dad used to say it tough as a $2 steak. He comes out and he will fight and scratch and bite and do whatever he has. It doesn't matter how big the kid is. So I'm very interested. By the way, smaller guys, lots of times leverage is in their favor. I'm very interested to see that matchup tonight as well.
What is it, Ron? Lower guy wins typically?
Lower guy typically wins. Yep. I made a life when I played high school ball as being the shorter guy.
All right, those are some really interesting matchups. I'm sure we will see those play out a little bit more here tonight. We'll be pointing those out as we get into the contest. Thanks again for tuning in to the Possum pregame show. As you can see, we've got keys to the game on the screen. Ron, tell us what's going to matter in this ball game tonight.
So here's the thing with playing the option, right? I don't know how else to say it, but besides for this, sometimes your eyes will just simply lie to you. You'll see one thing, you come up and bite, and then something else takes place. With the option, you've got to get into your alignment, communicate, and then stay with your assignment. The other thing, that part of the reason I think Hardin Valley got in trouble last week was they just didn't play clean. I know there's a couple balls that the quarterback would like to have. Riley Mass had just sort of drifted on him. Once again, a very good, sound Bradley Central team. But you cannot shoot yourself in the foot tonight.
How about for Westridge?
We talked, Chris, you and I, about Mab, and we talked about getting him more involved in the offense. And they're moving him to wing, probably some in the slot tonight to try to address that because he's a weapon. He is a weapon. For a barber, he makes good cuts. You see what I did there?
Boom.
Just had to do that. But
mic drop.
I know that they're probably what Coach Hilton told us tonight, 4 to 5 carries at least, maybe more. So I'm wanting to see how they continue to try to work him because they've got to feature him in this offense to some degree.
And your last key of the game for Westridge, we talked about how they had 4 turnovers last week against Elizabethton, and it seems like in most cases, I mean, anytime you play a game and you turn the ball over 4 times, you're probably not going to come out with a win.
Nope, it is the biggest single indicator in football of who is going to win a game. So they need to play better tonight in regards to that.
All right, Ron just broke it down for you. We'll take a break. We're getting closer and closer to kickoff here from Westridge High School. Coming up shortly, Hardin Valley here against Westridge.
Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services is your hometown provider of electric, internet, telephone, and cable television services. With our robust fiber optic network, we offer internet speeds of 10 gigabits per second to every home and business in our service area. Our mission is to enrich our community while striving to make tomorrow better than today. BTES, your trusted resource for energy and connectivity.
Welcome back to Westridge High School. It is homecoming night here from the Ridge as Hardin Valley Academy, all the way from the Knoxville area, has come into town to take on the Wolves. And you see some of the early results for Westridge this season. Started out with a very impressive win against Tennessee High. We covered that game here at the Ridge, then went on the road. Another impressive win against David Crockett before that really tight loss last week. I know, Ron, you watched that game. I watched that game. What stuck out to you in that contest with that talented Cyclones team?
You know, really just, we talked about it already, just sort of some of the mistakes that they made in that contest. Often it was cases where they were marching down the field and chewing up chunks of yardage, and then they would just do something, whether it was a turnover or an untimely penalty, that would just break the rhythm. And Chris, if there's anything that can break a rhythm in offense, it's a 10-yard penalty. And anytime you've got 100 yards and add on 4 turnovers, boy, that makes for a difficult recipe to win a football game.
Elizabethton went up 14-0 in that game.
Yes, a lot of heart. Great
fought back.
point.
So, yeah, that sets up for tonight's game against Hardin Valley. But as we mentioned earlier, we talk about the standings here in Region 6. Some of those games are not coming up. Those big, important games are coming up later for playoff positioning. But a game like this is important for this Westridge team. It doesn't affect the postseason standings, but it goes back to what we've said really throughout the season as we've talked to Coach Hilton. He was not afraid to schedule some really tough teams, some other 6A teams, not to pad his win total, but to try to get his team ready for some of those important games against Dobbins-Bennett, Science Hill, and Jefferson County.
And let's be real kind of brutally honest here. You know, I've talked about this, talked about it today. I really believe in order for Westridge to get where they want to go, you're going to have to take 2 of 3 out of those contests between DB, Science Hill, and Jeff County.
All right, Westridge has some important games coming up, but as Coach would say, it all starts with tonight as they host Hardin Valley here in Bluntville at the Ridge. All right, we're going to take another break and shortly kick off coming up here from Westridge High School. Thanks for tuning in to the Possum pregame show. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Chris with BTES, and this is The Essentials. If you're considering making some home improvements to your home to make it more energy efficient, our Energy Savings Loan Program may be a good option for you. For qualified participants, BTES provides financing for inspected electric heat pumps, attic and floor insulation, insulated replacement windows, insulated doors and garage doors, electric service upgrades, and more. The Energy Savings Loan Program offers easy terms so you can improve your home and lower your energy bill. Learn more at bts.net/ESLP.
Timeless country.
Oh, play me some mountain music.
She said, here she wants his fancy, don't let me down.
The good stuff that brings back so many memories. 96.3, The Possum.
And that's why I hang my hat in Tennessee.
96.3 The Possum.
Back here at Westridge High School as Hardin Valley is in town to take on the Westridge Wolves. Alongside Ron Marvel, I'm Chris Mangrum here for Gridiron Game Day. Thank you for tuning in to week 4 of our season as you're starting to see the team come onto the field as Westridge is getting prepared with American flags in hand here tonight. We've talked, Ron, about this Westridge team and coming off of their schedule, a little bit on Hardin Valley as coming into this game, they are 2-1. We said they had won just 1 game last year. They've improved. They beat Carnes 45-25 in week 1, then took care of Morristown East 34-0. We'll see Morristown East later this year when they're here to play Westridge, but then lost last week to Bradley Central. What'd you learn from Coach Wynn this week in talking with him?
You know, I really like a lot of what he had to say. If you're going to build a program, you start with your younger, your grass cutters and your peewees, and he's done a lot of that. And when you look at his interviews that he's made, he's been very clear. Hey, I want these kids. Knoxville's a very competitive market. I want these kids to stay in the Hardin Valley program, so he's doing it right. One of the things he's done that I really, really like is that he's had his kids in the community serving in the Lead to Read program, various other ways. They're going to church together, they're doing things outside. Coach Wynn talked a lot about how his quarterback has facilitated a lot of that. Boy, when I hear things like that, that tells me a coach has a long-term mindset. And I think that long-term mindset is going to serve him well in a very difficult region.
As you see, we've got the Wolf Walk coming up here as each player for Westridge with an American flag in hand this week as they get prepared for a special night here at the Ridge on homecoming. And of course, a tough week in our country as well. And I'm sure that certainly goes into why we're seeing these players have each of those flags in their hands as they get prepared to run out onto the field here. I'll tell you what, the pregame festivities at this place, they're very proud of it here, and for good reason.
Yep, very, very well done. I walked over a moment ago, looked at a couple of their T-shirts. One said, "Hell yeah!" You know, I just about bought that. That's a lot of spirit right there when you're getting ready to put that on a T-shirt. But yeah, you just feel it when you're here. And by the way, whenever we're here, one of the things I appreciate too is just how loud and how active their student section is.
Very much so. Special environment. Obviously, of course, a new school, one of the newer schools in Northeast Tennessee, and this is a battle of two of the newer schools in this area as Westridge opening in 2021. Hardin Valley Academy opened back in 2008. So these are two fairly new schools. Not a lot of history for the actual school, and that's why we're seeing this as the very first time that these two teams have played. And we know they're supposed to play again next year, but it feels like this might be a matchup that might make sense for both teams going in the future.
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting matchup, particularly in talking to what Coach Hilton likes to do. He likes to schedule bigger teams or teams that are just on the same profile as they are. And I think Coach Wynn wants to do that very same thing as well. So very smart of the two of them to do a back-to-back scheduling like they did this season.
See the Wolves take the field. One of the cool things about up here at Westridge is they actually have a live mascot. We don't get that everywhere. I mean, you know, when we're at Tennessee High, I mean, you can't really find a real live Viking. You see the mascot there in the mascot suit, but also a real live dog as well, Ridge, who we got to see out on the field.
This is a wolf?
Well, yes.
It is a wolf. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and he belongs to I believe he goes home with Principal Leo. It's his dog.
It's a
and
hybrid.
It's also serving, as the live mascot as well. So pretty fun little tidbit here for Westridge. As you see, the presentation of colors coming as we throw it down to the field for our pregame festivities.
The senior team commander was Cadet Calvin Dean. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you would please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
Beautiful sights here. As you can see, it is a packed house at Westridge. All the cars parked even up in the grass all the way down the road as folks have lined the stands to take in this ball game between Westridge and Hardin Valley. For Westridge, we got a chance to see their first game here this season against Tennessee High. And boy, Ron, doesn't it feel like Westridge is kind of one of the early darlings in Northeast Tennessee. This is a team that went 5-5 last year. They had gotten beat by Tennessee High 37-14 last season, so a big turnaround in that first game. And I feel like a lot of eyes are on this team in blue.
I would agree with that statement. You know, that they're just a team that seems to just be getting better. Now, I will say I'd like to see a little bit more balance. Most of the time, the teams in this area that have runs in the playoffs typically are teams that can also throw the ball. When you get against your Science Hills and your Dobbins Bennett's, lots of times they'll key on the run, and they're very good against the run, so you've kind of got to shake it up a little bit. I know Coach Hilton knows that. By the way, Chris, I don't know that we've seen it this season, but they can throw out of that option. That'd be interesting. I think the concept of getting Mab more involved in this offense, I think, is very important. Hey, they've got weapons. They really do. And Hilton is playing above his age right now. I know one of the things that Coach Hilton told us this week is every time his son takes that turn back towards the teeth of his defense, his mama gets a little bit nervous. But as we go to break right here and listen to the ref.
Westridge will receive. Officials for tonight's game, play clock operator Samuel Heron.
From Westridge High School, it is time for kickoff between Hardin Valley Academy, the visitors, and the home team, Westridge, on homecoming night. Alongside Ron Marvel, I am Chris Mangrum. Thanks for tuning in to Gridiron Game Day here this evening on a gorgeous Friday night as we get prepared for some 6A football in the state of Tennessee. Westridge is going to take the opening kickoff here as Jackson Price and newly crowned homecoming king Caleb Mab are back to return for the Wolves. Kicking off for the Hawks is the lefty Logan Holbrook, and away we go. Mab collects around the 3 and quickly bottled up, just nowhere to go as he's taken down, and Westridge will start from within their own 20-yard line.
And Galvin Rawson right there, who also plays some corner in on the tackle right there. Westridge sort of tried to set up the ridge on that boundary line, and it just didn't set up.
So we get our first look at this Westridge offense. We know that they love to run the football. 11 pass attempts this year, 126 rushes. And you see Justice Hilton, the starting quarterback, he's got 44 of those attempts. He's a running threat as well. And on the first play, it's Hilton on the keeper, and Hilton has some room down the far sideline, still on his feet and tripped up inside the 30. There's a player to watch, Justice Hilton, a big gain on the first play.
Yeah, I want to go back and look at that instant replay right there if we can pull that up. Well, he just gets out front, and there's a lot of room for him. There for a moment, Chris, I thought he was going to the house.
Justice Hilton, a week ago against Elizabethton, had 156 rushing yards and off to a great start tonight. 1st and 10 from the 26. Hilton keeps again. This time, not as much room. It looked like Dylan Umansky led the charge for the Hawks. See the Sunbelt Rentals starting lineup. We've already talked about Hilton. Ethan Amix is one of the top running backs in Northeast Tennessee. And we'll see how they get others involved, like Orlando Mack and Caleb Mabb behind that very impressive and large offensive line for the Wolves. First give, it's Amix. Touchdown, Westridge. Just like that, Westridge on the board early. Took a minute and a half to find the end zone for Ethan Amix, the senior running back.
That's just power running right there. You get a man out front, you push him up, and he finds that crack and he goes.
Extra point, up and good. And what a start for the Westridge Wolves. A 7-0 lead for Hardin Valley.
Well, we stay right here and we watch him come up here, follows his man up behind the tackle, and he's just gone from there, Chris.
Amix just gets that ball so quick, and the power and speed of Ethan Amix as he reaches the end zone for the 8th time this season. So Amix, an excellent start to the ball game. Justice Hilton with a big run there to get it going, and Amix finishes it off. Coming in, Amix had 7 touchdowns. You get another look at it here, and just not much you can do. Just outruns the Hawks defense there.
That tackle right there just set the edge on both sides, and it just opened up like a Red Sea. Great start tonight for the Wolves. 3 plays, 83 yards. That is what you call efficiency, Chris.
All right, so to kick off for Westridge, it is Evan Manus. So kickoff here for Westridge, as we'll see Hardin Valley take the football. And there's Rivers, the speedster, and you see him go all the way past the 40. Ron, you mentioned it in the pregame show presented by the Possum. This is one of the fastest guys in this area.
Yeah, and he doesn't need much space to make a big run, and we just saw that right there. Very dangerous tonight.
All right, so an excellent return for the Hardin Valley Hawks as they get the ball at the 41, and they are led by quarterback Riley Matz, who's had a nice start to the year, over 400 yards passing through 3 games. This Hawks team does like to throw it, but they'll hand off on the first play. It's Levi Amay, and into Westridge territory, a productive run on first down.
He's another one that's very much on the short side, only 5'7", and lots of times when you get those bigger defensive ends out there, it's easy to lose a tailback that's small.
Justice Hilton as well, the quarterback for Westridge. He sometimes gets to hide behind those big offensive linemen, and we see that a little bit for Hardin Valley as they pick up a first down on the first play of their drive. Here's a keeper, Riley Matz, left side, as Hayden Music in on the tackle, as well as Jackson Price.
Good job there by Music to shoot off the side there and pick up quarterback before he's able to get additional yards.
See the rest of the starters for the Hardin Valley offense, thanks to Sunbelt Rentals for filling in our starting lineup each and every week. Keep an eye on Logan Holbrook, the tight end. They get him really involved in this offense. 2nd and 4. And complete pass. That's Cruz Furman, and it's enough for a first down.
Yeah, Coach Wynn talked to us about him as well. He's considered to be the quarterback of the wide receiver room, just a leader, and sets the example for the rest of the guys in that room.
The starters for the Westridge defense, thanks to Sunbelt Rentals. And boy, that linebacking core, Mack, Music, Perry, Arnold, 4 big thumpers right up there around the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10. Amay inside the 25. And how about this offense for the Hawks, Ron, moving the ball?
Yeah, I've been very impressed with what Ame has been able to do so far. Just a tough runner, not a big guy, but just able to hit the hole. Coach Gwynn called him the most natural tailback he's got.
You'll see several backs for Hardin Valley. We've already seen Levi Ame, just a sophomore. We'll see a freshman, Aiden Perry, as well in the backfield. We had an Aiden Perry in last week's game for Science Hill. He didn't play, but one of the top running backs up in Northeast Tennessee. And Nathan Arnold with a big tackle for loss on that handoff as Ame is hitting the backfield.
7 guys in the box right now, Chris. I think that Coach Hilton's starting to adjust a little bit to what this Hawks team's wanting to do.
Big pop there from Nathan Arnold. He was our player of the week in week 1. And off to a good start here tonight. 2nd and 12. Play action, Matt's looking deep. That throw on the money and caught. Brody Lamb with a touchdown, 6 points for number 6. Lots of offense here in the first few minutes. Quite the response for Hardin Valley, but quickly as we have this swinging gate play, it's thrown out. And great defense here. Hayden Music for the 2-point try is no good. We saw a quick 2-point conversion try there, and Westridge able to stand tall and keep Hardin Valley out of the end zone. So Westridge holds that 7-6 lead here early. All right, we'll be right back. High-scoring affair here from Westridge. We'll be right back as the Wolves lead the Hawks by 1.
For 85 years, United Southeast Federal Credit Union has proudly served our neighbors in Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. We're more than a financial institution, we're part of the community. With 6 convenient branches and a team dedicated to your financial well-being, we're here to help you grow, save, and thrive. On the go, our mobile app and online banking make managing your money easy. United Southeast Federal Credit Union, helping our members live better lives.
All right, back here at Westridge High School, both teams have scored on their opening possession. And some impressive offense. We saw Westridge kind of run it right down Hardin Valley's throat, Ron, but Hardin Valley, an impressive drive both on the ground and through the air.
Yeah, Lamb right there, able to get inside leverage, takes that stab step and creates just enough room to stack behind the defender, and he was off to the races, Chris.
I'm not sure we necessarily expected a shootout in this game. We've got a long way to go. We'll see. And Caleb Mabb decides to let that one trickle into the end zone.
You know, last week we watched Matz and he kind of struggled with his touch on the ball. Tonight, in the 2 times that we've seen him, looks as though he's got very good touch. We'll have to see if that pattern continues.
Another look at the touchdown. Kind of airmailed a couple of those throws last week, but that one, oh, he couldn't have put it in a better place.
Like I said, Chris took that tab step and got the space that he needed to go downfield.
And here's that 2-point conversion. Kind of a swinging gate play we've seen Hardin Valley run already this year, and it was on tape, and Hayden Music erased it quickly. Lots of exotic formations from this Hawks team. They'll go for 2 quite a bit. You never know what you might see.
Funky formations is what we heard from Hilton.
1st and 10, handoff Amix. And he's got the 25-yard line. And 5 yards on 1st down for Ethan Amix. He's averaging 8.6 yards per carry on the season, and that has already gone up.
That's just a ridiculous stat, isn't it?
He has been one of the most impressive players, not just in our television coverage this year, but just in Northeast Tennessee. I mean, already he is the career leading rusher for Westridge High School. I know they've only got 5 years of history, but he's already at the top of that list. Here's a pitch to Dayton Brown as he's across the 1st down marker with a late flag.
A good cut right there by Brown. We'll see what this call is. You know, Chris, I think one of the, let's wait for this call.
Holding, offense, number 43, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Randy Ramsire, the official for tonight's game. He does quite a bit of basketball in the area as well. See the hold. Watch 43 Hayden Music in the middle of your screen.
Correction, second down.
I didn't see a whole lot right there. The tug right there towards the end.
A little tug there late, it looked like.
Most of the time you keep your hands in, which you did pretty well right there, and elbows tight, you can get by with some of that stuff. One of the things I've seen as West Ridge's team that's made them better is this offensive line is really starting to gel well.
2nd and 10. Pitch play. Amix has the edge and delivers a blow on his way towards the line to gain, but just a little shy.
Well, he does not look to go out of bounds, does he?
Here's the starting defense for Hardin Valley. Thanks to Sunbelt Rentals, as always, for sponsoring. A couple guys to watch. We mentioned Samuel Mann as our player to watch. Keep an eye on number 5 there in the middle. And this is a defense that has forced a lot of turnovers already this season. See how that plays out tonight. 3rd and short. And a keeper across the line for a first down. Justice Hilton picks it up himself. Let's hear what Coach had to say about his starting quarterback and son, Justice.
I think Nick Copes has done a really good job getting Justice prepared to play, and had a couple good games, and proud of how he's battled through some adversity and not hung his head. And he'll credit all these guys in there because they've rallied around him and really been great teammates.
Hilton just a sophomore, but engineering this triple option look as he does so here. It's Amix again on the dive. Up to the 37.
Icino right there just shooting through, picking up the linebacker to help pick up that additional yardage.
See how quickly Amix gets the ball. So he's almost in front of the line of scrimmage when he gets the handoff because of the push that these big boys up front are getting.
It's a pretty good defensive line up front by Hardin Valley as well. And Michael Arce is just a very tough, hard-nosed ball player.
Mab in motion. Amix leaps towards the first down line, but he'll come up a yard shy.
You know, when we talked to them, Coach Wynn, we talked about a 4-3 defense. Chris, I've not seen it so far. I've seen a 52 all night long, and in anticipation of what you're going to see out of this option.
You see Amix go up and over right there. It was Coach Hilton was telling us that Elizabethton ran a 6-2 box.
With as many as 9 men in the box.
And look, count those blue helmets. Well, I guess both have blue helmets, but the light blue helmets right around the ball here on 3rd and short. Hilton runs forward, and he's got another first down. That's what makes the offense, this offense so effective, Ron, is when you can move the ball a couple yards at a time. You're very rarely in those 3rd and long situations.
Well, and so much credit to Tatum, McConnell, and Icino up front. You know, when it comes to football, you protect from the interior out. And those 3 guys have done a really good job this season.
See Tyler Wynn, the head coach for Hardin Valley, back into the area after attending college at Carson Newman. As Amix finds another gap, you're not catching him. 2nd touchdown of the night for Ethan Amix, and he's pushed his season total to 9 touchdowns on the ground.
You know, Chris, when you're putting up 345 pounds on a bench, you're not going to solo tackle this kid. You've got to slow him down, and you've got to expect teammates to get there.
You see just the power and speed. He turns on the jets. This is a guy who not only is big and strong, but fast as well. We do have a whistle here as the extra point was underway. As you get another look at Amix, and that's becoming a familiar sight as Amix sees his athletic director, Anthony Richardson, in the end zone.
Good athletic move up front there by Amix.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense number 7. That penalty's declined. We'll have the try.
Amix there able to hurdle the defender, and after that he was just gone. Once again, the opening up front provided by those interior linemen.
Extra point, just sneaks in the uprights. And Westridge has had the ball twice. They've scored twice, led by the charge of Ethan Amix, who has 2 touchdowns already here in the first quarter. All right, coming up in the fourth quarter, the Eddie's Trophies player of the game. Our player of the game from last week was number 19, Barron Harkleroad from Tennessee High. Had a great game. We had a great game, Ron, as Science Hill came back to win that one 24-21. Tennessee High led 14-3 at halftime, but what an excellent ball game that was, and what a great game by Barron.
A great game last week, and as much on defense as he was offense. Just able to play in that isolation many times on an island. I pointed the ball very well last week on several occasions. Can't miss the student section tonight, can you, Chris?
No, I saw you see some of those T-shirts they're wearing for homecoming and neon night. You mentioned wanting to get one of the other shirts. I'd like to have one of those to take home with me. It's a good-looking shirt. So Westridge leads 14-6. You see Evan Manus prepared to get the kickoff. Downfield, here we go. This is Jeremiah Brown, a freshman on the return. Looking for room and not much. Met by a lot of blue shirts. Able to stay up, but they stopped his momentum there.
Good play right there by number 14, Connor Jones. Is able to step in that lane and force him to the outside. By the time he got to the outside, the rest of the Wolves just converged on him.
You see the drive there for the Wolves as Ethan Amix continues to do what he does. We were talking with Coach Hilton this week about some of the records. When we got a chance to talk to Ethan earlier this season, he said one of his goals was to break that career rushing record. Well, he's already done that, and he's knocking on the door of the single season rushing record already, and we're in game 4. Handoff Ame, and a few Wolves there to collect him right around the 25.
There were several on that play, but you got to give credit right there for Orlando Mack to turn in that runner back on the inside. We watch this replay. Right there, Chris, that's what you've got to do with an athletic tailback like that. Hey, last time they had balance between the pass and the run. Let's see if they go back to that this series.
Second and 8. Ame gets tripped up just shy of the 30. Looked like the leading tackler, Sam Perry, was in on the tackle. Take a look at Coach Hilton. Long-time coach in the area, of course, at Sullivan South for many years, and started here at Westridge. He's been the head coach for Westridge since the school's inception, and has a record here at Westridge, 25-20. Just picked up his 25th win for the Wolves.
Loves to talk football.
Oh, yeah. 3rd and 5. Mats. Screen look. It's caught by Ame, but nice job by Caden Duke to run down that tackle. And it's going to be close to a first down.
Yeah, let's see where this spot is.
Looks like the chains are moving as you get another look at it here. It's good recognition there from Duke, who lines up with his helmet on the football, didn't it?
Well, and if you notice, he got behind Ragland, which is just huge, and just kind of head bumped off of him, then stepped out into the flat and was able to make that reception.
First down for Hardin Valley. New running back in the game is Aiden Perry, the freshman, and his first carry gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Got another Aiden Perry in this area that's recovering from an injury right now over at Science Hill. We wish him well. Big weapon for the Hilltoppers.
Hey, anymore, Ron. Hey, look, Aiden was a very popular name about, what, I guess 14 to 18 years ago?
Yes.
We got Aidens, we got Cadens, we got Haydens, we got Jadens. Well, this Aiden spells it A-Y-D-E-N. The one for Science Hill is A-I-D-E-N. Kind of like Jackson. That's the new one. Handoff. This is Perry again. And tackled just across the 35.
Stop made by number 45, Sam Perry. It's 3rd and 7. Hawks at their own 30.
3rd down and 7. Neither team has punted in this game.
Chris, as they're pulling their guards are doing a real good job. The Hawks I'm talking about are getting in front of the defender. We'll see what the Wolves can do to adjust to that.
Closing seconds of the first quarter. Matt's off play action. Lobs it deep. Jump ball kicked around and out of bounds. You know what was interesting about that was that ball never hit the ground.
The pass is incomplete.
Okay, well that puts an end to that, but that was, let's watch this. I'm curious if this ball stays in bounds. Off the foot of Price. Watch this. His foot was already, okay, he's already out of bounds. But watch, just kick it back to a teammate, why don't you?
Hey, some love right there to Tanner Mims for getting in there and providing pressure that probably broke that play up a little bit more.
So we do have our first punt of the game as Logan Holbrook is lined up. An impressive punter, little rugby style, and finally gets it off. And a great bounce for the Hawks. Ron, I almost wanted to feature Holbrook as the player to watch simply because of what he does. He handles all the kicking on this team, and he's a receiving threat.
And if you were at the University of Tennessee last Saturday, you got to see his brother hitting some kicks for the Bucks as they took on the Vols last week.
Yes, his older brother Nathan is one of the punters for the ETSU Buccaneers. So there is a kicking lineage in the Holbrook family. And I don't know, Holbrook's got a couple field goals. His longest this year is 38 yards, and he had plenty of distance on that one, so he may have a future in it as well.
Chris, I think the Wolves got a real opportunity right here to grab momentum.
Chance to go up by 2 scores, just 8 seconds left in this first quarter. And a whistle. That pitch was going to
Prior to
Orlando
snap,
Mack.
delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Interesting little thing right there. We've seen it before. Amix was actually the lead blocker right there, Chris, on that play. And the way it looked, it was designed pretty well because they had sealed off that side. But all for naught.
Please reset the game clock to 8 seconds, 0-8. Thank you.
And I think Coach Hilton saw the same thing that I saw and is not real happy.
What's that?
They had the edge sealed right there. Amix came out and just literally popped that defensive end, and Mack had room.
Yeah, delay of games are always tough coming right off of that first possession, right after you get the ball back. Just a procedural here as they reset the clock to 8 seconds. 1st and 15 after the penalty. Amix again, and he has a meeting with Owen Vaughn. Picks up a couple yards, and we are heading to the end of the first quarter as Westridge leads Hardin Valley 14-6. An impressive display of offense here from both teams. Let's throw it down to the sidelines, and Leslie.
Thanks so much, guys. I'm here with Thomas Gilbert, who is the Pep Club sponsor, among lots of other things. But I specifically want to talk about homecoming. Takes a lot to go into it. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. Homecoming's a special time at the Ridge. Starting from the very first year, we really put a lot of energy and effort into creating that culture and building something exciting for homecoming week. This week, we started off Monday with our presentation of the seniors who you saw earlier in the court. And then after that, we had blind volleyball, which is hysterical. We have each class has a team of 20 students, and we hang black plastic across the net, so you can't see what's on the other side, and they play volleyball. It is hysterical. It's great. We have a canned food drive going on, where actually the classes are in a competition with each other, but we're in a competition with Dobbins-Bennett. And at the end of the month, the school that's raised the most cans will win a trophy. Today, of course, we had a huge carnival, and you keep looking over your shoulder. And it was awesome. The kids had a blast. I was in the dunk tank. Felt good, though. Tomorrow night, of course, the game tonight, and tomorrow night is the homecoming dance, which is a huge event.
So a lot going on and a lot to put together. Well, thanks for taking a few minutes and speaking to us down here. I'm going to turn it back over to the game.
All right, Amix with a modest pickup there on second down. The third down play is a pitch to Orlando Mack, and he is stopped short. Dylan Umansky and Isaac Beeler in on the tackle for Hardin Valley. And Ron, you were mentioning during our break that this Westridge offense looks a little different to you.
Yeah, I've not seen a whole lot of that option that I'm so used to seeing out of this team. It's a lot of power run. It's a lot of inside zone. Either one or two things have happened. Either they're playing a little bit of rope and dope right now, and they're trying to lull them into a sense that we're not going to run the option all that night, which I don't think is going to happen, or Coach Hilton really likes his line of scrimmage, or he likes his line against their defensive line, which may be the more likely of the two.
Timeout, Hardin Valley. First time out of the half.
Timeout call. Looked like maybe a procedural issue there for the Hawks. They may have had too many men on the field, and certainly on a 4th down and 6, you don't want to get flagged for that, because Westridge is liable to go for it on a 4th and short if you get caught. All right. Big times going on in Bristol right now. We got the race going on this week, and next week, September 19th through the 21st, it's the Bristol Rhythm and Roots reunion. Power 7 will be there Saturday and Sunday to bring you live music from the 6th Street stage and the Paramount, including Farm and Fun Time, Cam Clark and his orchestra, Colby T. Helms and the Virginia Creepers, Denisha, and more. Visit birthplaceofcountrymusic.org for a complete schedule. All right, so after the timeout, Westridge ready to punt this ball away. It's Caleb Mabb. And a nice boot on it and a better bounce as this one's rolling inside the 20. Excellent punt from Caleb Mabb, our homecoming king, as named prior to the game. He's having a good night so far.
Yeah, that's a wonderful. We saw that last week work against Tennessee High, where the ball bounced backwards off of a punt. Tonight you got the roll and then some.
Some good special teams that we've seen in this game.
Chris, is this kind of what you expected tonight?
Well, I'm a little surprised we've got so many points on the board early.
Yes.
As that punt was 56 yards off the foot of Caleb Mabb.
That's a good high school. That's a good punt in the NFL, let alone to high school level.
First down play, a handoff to Brody Lamb, who cuts it back inside, makes the most of it. Lamb into the secondary as Mabb finally throws him down. Ron, that looked like it was going for a loss. But Brody Lamb, who caught the touchdown pass earlier, was able to get on it, and we're already on the ball here quickly.
Okay.
How about a little option look theirself here for Hardin Valley in a timeout?
Prior to the snap, timeout, Westridge.
So Westridge
first time out of the half.
Was confused a little bit as that quick no huddle, and that gives us a chance perhaps to check out that last play.
Brody Lamb right here just comes. One thing I want you to see is the patience that he shows. You can go ahead and roll that now. Look at the patience. He gets here and just waits for a second. It's not there, pauses, and then hits upfield. That is not an easy thing. And talk about a tailback's vision right there, to be able to show that kind of patience when you've got that many people bearing down on you.
Brody Lamb came into tonight with 6 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. He's already got a touchdown. And he's doing some good work as well, carrying the ball. He had -5 rushing yards coming into tonight. He's back into the positives after that run. But it seems like they like to use him on those jet sweeps quite a bit.
Well, we talked about this in the pregame. They've got a lot of speed on the perimeter. They really do. And I think these corners for the Wolves are going to have to get physical with them.
More jet look, but Matz keeps this one. And nice job. Guess who? Sam Perry, leading tackler for the Wolves, throws him out of bounds.
That's exactly what you want to do if you're the Wolves. Stretch it out, push it towards the boundary, then close it down.
Matz is not too much of a runner. Just 5 carries on the season. He does have a touchdown, though.
Gosh, he scraped so well right there, Chris. Oh, my goodness, what a nice play.
2nd and 9. And more whistles.
Timeout to correct the chains.
Okay, official timeout here. Always important to have the chains correct.
Oh, yes.
All right, guys, coming up at halftime, the Burke Powers and Hardy Student of the Week. We'll hear from the Student of the Week here from West Ridge. Leslie got a chance to get with that student earlier this week, so stay tuned at halftime to learn more. Thanks to Burke Powers and Hardy for sponsoring that again this year. Matz on the move and just throws that one away. I suppose he was able to get it to the line of scrimmage there. Looked kind of like a spike.
Yeah, he was looking at Lamb right there, who made a double move, and good job there by the Wolves secondary to not bite on that double move. Dayton Brown in particularly stays with him even after he makes that second cut.
So we saw these two teams get on the board early, scored on their first possession. Saw Hardin Valley have a punt, West Ridge have a punt. Seems like they're kind of settling in maybe a little bit to what each other likes to do. As we've heard from a lot of these coaches, it's hard to replicate in practice what your opponent is going to do and at the speed they're going to do it at. 3rd down. Another rolled pocket. And too tall for Nick Rivers, the speedster. And that brings up 4th down, and we'll likely see another punt here.
2 good defensive stops right there as the Hawks seemed as though they were getting some rhythm, Chris.
Coach Wynn there. He's done a nice job.
He's done a really good job.
With this team, and you know they're the Hawks, and he's talked about his motto being called Rise, which ties in with the Hawks theme. That is resilience, investment, selflessness, and engagement.
Yes, and engagement for him is just more than on a football field. It's in the community as well.
Again, another nice punt by Logan Holbrook inside the 20. And that sets up a long field here for West Ridge. Ron, you mentioned earlier that West Ridge maybe kind of got out of their bread and butter a little bit, maybe trying to almost out-wrinkle themselves in a way.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens on this drive.
I'm still not sure, and I talked about the other side of that coin. I really believe that Coach Hilton really thinks he's got an advantage up front. So he may continue to press that. Both of those runs were just inside zone runs that Amex broke off. So let's see. We've seen it, I think, twice. Let's see if they go back to the option a little bit right here as Matt goes in motion.
Handoff, Amex. He's got more room. Amex outside. Racing down the sideline and finally run out of bounds by Bex Allen. But Ethan Amex continues to just eat up yardage for this West Ridge offense. Just running free.
Great kick out block right there. I think that was by Arnold, and just creates. It doesn't get any easier than that, Chris. Very simple, very simple inside off tackle run.
Lots of running room so far for West Ridge. Hilton on the keeper this time. A little deception. Makes a move towards the pylon. Justice Hilton to the end zone.
You know, Chris, we talked about him going back into the teeth of the defense. He did that right there, and boy, it worked to his advantage as he turns it upfield.
Let me tell you what. You hand off to big number 1. Everybody, look at the bodies that went after 1 right there. And Hilton makes you pay as that second option, just like we talked about. My goodness, a little high step there to make it interesting at the goal line.
And he is just deceptively quick, Chris. He really is. I was getting ready to say.
We get a little early jump there.
There's timing it up, and then there's trying to get away with something.
Early start. Coach Hilton wants to decline.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense number 7. We'll do the try.
Owen Vaughn right there, his eyes probably got as big as saucers, but fortunately for the Wolves, flag came out as it should have.
All right, we'll try it again. Samuel Burris, extra point kicker. Up and good.
Burris is a neat kid, man. We've had an opportunity to come and talk to him a couple times, and he's just a talker. I mean, he enjoys kicking.
Yeah, played soccer over in Barcelona and now making a difference for Westridge. Wolves lead this one 21-6 here on Gridiron Game Day.
Hey, I'm Josh Horner. I'm the franchise owner-operator at Chick-fil-A at the Pinnacle in Bristol, Tennessee. I joined Chick-fil-A in 1996 as a teenager and worked for Chick-fil-A through college, and we've loved being able to come back to Bristol and open our Chick-fil-A here. We have been very thankful and appreciative for the work that BTES has done for us with the reliability of their services. We've been pleased to use them for our internet and phone services as well as electrical utilities. Everything has been phenomenal, especially the business services division, which has provided great support for us.
Welcome back to Westridge High School. The Wolves are getting it done on the ground as you take another look here at head coach Tyler Wynn, who played at Carson Newman, both baseball and football, and grew up in the state of Georgia. Decided to come back up towards this area. His wife is from here, and take on the challenge of this Hardin Valley program in one of the toughest regions in the state of Tennessee.
Chris Quick score. Tennessee High is up on Cocke County 14-0.
And last I saw, Sullivan East was winning 7-0 over Eagleton. Is that correct?
Roll down to
double check me there.
Yeah.
And kickoff collected by Jeremiah Brown. We've seen him once, and the second return just shy of the 20.
Chris also tells you we know a lot tonight about Science Hills. They took on Bearden. Right now, Science Hill 21, Bearden nothing.
Got a little number for you here, Ron. Westridge so far in this ball game, 15 rushes, 254 yards on the ground. Ethan Amix, 9 carries, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns.
You know, when you're averaging 15 to 16 yards per carry, that's a pretty good formula to win a football game.
Whew. Love to run the ball. New back into the game, Harrison Odell, and Nathan Arnold there to throw him backwards.
You know, there was a point in time, and you remember this, there was some discussion by Coach Hilton of just keeping Arnold on the offensive line. Boy, let me applaud you, Coach Hilton, for letting him play both ways.
He was really impressive last year, kind of stuck out as a key player on that defense.
He takes joy in hitting people.
2nd and 9, screen, Lamb, and Sam Perry there to make the hit in the backfield.
Boy, this linebacking core has announced their presence this evening, haven't they? And I think a lot of this, by the way, is credit to the defensive linemen up front for the Wolves.
Sam Perry is everywhere. We mentioned that Samuel Mann for Hardin Valley has 39 tackles on the season. Coming in, Perry has 33, which leads the team. He's also got 2 tackles for loss, and he forced a fumble against Crockett as well. Just a disruptor right there in the middle, as you see our overhead shot here on this play. Matz on the scramble, and it's Mr. Sam Perry again who knocks him out shy of the first down marker.
Nice little attack there by Perry as he's able to force him out. I think Billy Hawkins right there was a guy in trail that couldn't quite reach him.
See it again here as Matz takes off. So here's Logan Holbrook on again. Done a nice job with his punt so far. If you're Hardin Valley, you're not too thrilled that he's having to punt so much so far. Booming kick as Price lets this one go. My goodness, look at the roll inside the 15. I'm telling you, this guy is a weapon.
That's a heck of a kick. I'm going to tell you, I don't know for a fact, but I bet if I did some research, Jackson Price plays baseball because he went into center field mode right there, turned the hips, put the foot in the bucket, and went.
All right, coming up at halftime, it's the Westridge Band. The Alphas dance team performs, and Leslie has a conversation with the Burke Powers and Hardy Student of the Week. You ready for this punt? 64 yards. We love special teams, don't we?
They make a difference.
Ethan Amix on the first down carry. Give him 8. That's right in line with his average.
Yeah, but that's sorely behind the average we have right now, 15 or 16 yards per carry.
Yes.
I mean, he's going to have to pick it up.
Yeah, what? Come on, Ethan. What a special player, I'll tell you.
Oh, gosh.
Second and short. Hilton keeps this one and I believe has just enough for the first down. You know, we've had some fun this week, Ron, speculating how many yards will Ethan Amix end up with? And I'm just telling you, I think it's going to be north of 1,500 if he stays healthy.
That might be a wee little ambitious, but I could see him doing it, particularly, you know, with they get a playoff game. I certainly could see them doing that. See him doing that, I should say.
Amix has his legs taken out from under him there as that's Dylan Umansky. We've called his name quite a bit tonight.
And that may be the first run I've seen Amix have that was under 7 or 8 yards.
They're getting some pressure in the backfield. You also saw Andrew Perkins there in the area.
You had a hawk right there that bear crawled through the offensive lineman, and I think it just sort of threw off everything.
Hilton keeps. That was Jax Brown, the running back, in the backfield there. You saw Amix jog off the field there.
Yeah, and he's not going to quite be the blocker that Amix is, although I would have liked to seen Hilton wait just a second more for his blocker to get out front.
Third and 7. Here is Jax Brown in relief of Ethan Amix, and he's picked up a first down.
You know, we talked about the interior tonight. Hey, Arnold and Thornton as well are doing just a great job on those tackle spots, just kicking out and opening up big spaces. We've seen that right there on that run.
Little breather there for Amix, number 1, back out there on the field. Westridge up by 2 scores here in this first half as we're ticking down towards halftime. The Wolves would love to add another. And Amix tackled right away. That's Michael Arce inside. And at least for the last couple of runs for Amix, it seems like Hardin Valley's getting him before he can get going.
Yep.
But still, you'll take, what, 2-3 yards?
All the time.
On first down.
Arce having himself a good night tonight. He's been very active.
Amix again. Been able to get up a few chunks of yards.
Fields right there on the stop. And, you know, I've thought oftentimes when you've got someone running a 10-9 like he runs and as strong as he is, you know it's got to hurt when he plows into you.
Especially, as you've said, Ron, throughout the game, as the game goes on, it becomes even more difficult with every carry to tackle a back like that. Third and short. Hilton on the keeper. And wrestled down into Hardin Valley territory with another first down. So Hilton moves the chains.
Chris, I want you to see the attention
timeout
that Amos
Hardin
gets
Valley.
right here.
Second timeout of the half.
And then smartly, Hilton's able to move away from the movement of the play. Go ahead and play that.
Oh, my.
Look at the attention. The whole right side of the line shifts to Amix, and everything is open.
How about that overhead shot, too?
Oh, gosh, thank you for the aerial.
Austin running the drone for us. One of the best. All right, coming up next week, one of the top teams in Class 4 in the state. The Greenville Green Devils come to town to take on the Sullivan East Patriots. That game coming up next week. And we'll see how the Patriots step up to a big challenge in what is, as we said, one of the top teams.
Yeah, lots of good players. Excited to see Caden Ball next week, particularly.
So that contest will kick off at 7:30 next week, but we'll be on the air at 7. So be sure to tune in around 7 o'clock for our pregame show.
Oak Ridge up on Dobbins Bennett right now, 9-0.
1st and 10. Hilton. And that is Samuel Mann on the tackle.
Chris, do you not feel right now this drive is like death by 1,000 cuts?
Oh, yeah.
But kudos to this offensive line, kudos to this coaching staff, because this is a tone-setting drive right here. That we believe our guys up front are better than your guys up front.
And we're ticking down towards the end of the first half, maybe trying to get in one more time into the end zone and not leave much time for Hardin Valley to respond. Amix hitting the backfield. I don't know, it feels to me, Ron, that Hardin Valley's made some adjustments in this game, and they're getting to Amix. I mean, he had a lot of room before.
Yep. But you know, Chris, if they're committing that much to Amix right now, you've got other people on the field open.
And I guarantee you that offensive coordinator Nick Kopus is seeing that same thing and all the attention that they're drawing. And hey, I don't blame him. Make somebody else but number 1 beat you. Jax Brown is the back here. Hilton keeps, slips a tackle, and thrown backwards. Big tackle there by Owen Vaughn, and a flag comes in late.
And boy, if you're Caden Cox right now for these Hawks, you got to wonder what you have to do to get him down.
I'm guessing horse collar will be the call here. Refereeing crew getting together.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense, number 7, 15-yard penalty. It's a first down.
Take another look at it here as Hilton goes left. He was inside that jersey.
Sure, and then some. And they do that for a reason, Chris. It's an easy way to hurt somebody.
With how slippery Hilton is, sometimes you just have to grab onto anything you can. Handoff up the middle. Amix, give me number 3. 3rd touchdown of the night for Ethan Amix as Westridge stretches out the lead.
And Chris, what I'm seeing right now is a Wolves team that is sending a message, hey, we can beat you with more than just the option. We've got a lot of different ways that we can beat you.
What a special night for Ethan Amix. Just unbelievable. As the extra point on the way, I think it snuck over the crossbar, and it does, as Westridge, a big-time drive as Ethan Amix finds his 3rd touchdown tonight.
This is just such basic football. We're going to kick here, we're going to kick out here, we're going to open up a lane, and off we go.
See it again from that high cam.
Yep.
beautiful sight for Westridge fans as Ethan Amix.
That mirror image was a little bit flipped on me there, Chris, but I think you get the idea.
Take a breather there, Mr. Amix. What a night for this Westridge offense so far. 4 touchdown drives, 4 touchdowns on the ground, and Ethan Amix now up to 15 carries for 189 yards and 3 touchdowns. Oh, and by the way, Justice Hilton over 100 yards himself. 2 100-yard rushers for the Wolves in this first half.
Chris, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but when Amix was laying down, I thought they had taken his shoe off. Now, I don't know if that's retaping of an ankle or what, but we need to keep an eye on that.
Kickoff on the way. A short one, caught by one of the upmen. That is Cruz Furman, and wrestled down just shy of the 40.
Boy, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it right now for the Hawks to answer?
I feel like they've got to get in the end zone here.
Yes.
You know, it was back a few weeks ago. We had Chucky Doak and East, and Chucky Doak was able to get in the end zone, get the ball back, get in the end zone again. The Hawks do get the ball back to start the third quarter, so that makes this drive even more important.
Great point.
For Hardin Valley. Screen looking for Rivers, but he falls down. We haven't really seen much of Nick Rivers, the speedster. It looks like maybe trying to get him involved here.
Yes, and Chris, I'm going to tell you, if Matt's hits him in stride, he's got some room in front of him to run. They did a good job on that first drive passing the ball. I don't know why they got away from it. It was blocked, Chris. There was a lane right there.
Durgan Ragland out there in front. That's exactly the guy you want to be running behind. You saw Rivers, you saw his speed on display early in the game on that kickoff return. He's dangerous in open space. Matt's on the roll, and just off the fingertips of Logan Holbrook.
Yeah, you know, on 2 occasions, Chris, we don't want to get super critical of these guys, but 2 occasions right there, we've had some receivers in space and just passes that were just slightly off the mark.
We wondered about the accuracy for Riley Matz. Coming in, he's right around the 55% completion mark on the season, but man, that touchdown throw he had earlier in the game was just on the money. Couldn't place it any better. Now under trouble here, and a sack as a few Wolves meet at the quarterback. That's Caden Duke.
Timeout.
And Jacob
Westridge.
Bledsoe. And
Second
how about
timeout of the
Coach
half.
Hilton calling timeout here on 4th down? They want more.
Love it. Yep, absolutely.
All right, just 1:13 left here in the first half. Let's do our lineman versus lineman. This is a new fun feature we're doing this year. See Cal Tatum, junior, number 50, younger brother of Trent Tatum, who's playing college football down in Tusculum. And in comparison, we see Kobe Brewer, and Kobe's got a little, he's got a little lineman stance going on, a little head-to-head for the Sullivan Central grad.
Yep.
And of course, Central, one of the schools that was combined to form Westridge here, that formed in 2021, as it was Sullivan Central, Sullivan North, and Sullivan South. I think Cal Tatum got a little peek. You see him there, big number 50. He had his eyes on that board. They're having some fun with the Jumbotron here in the building. Saw a little smile there from Mr. Cal.
Looking at their scoreboard right here, Chris, I'm seeing 1 timeout for Westridge, if I'm reading that correctly.
At this point, I mean, we know Westridge likes to run the ball. We know they have the big play. We'll see if they haven't put it in the air yet.
No, but wouldn't it be a good time right here? I mean, you're up 28-6.
Holbrook with another booming punt. This man just lives inside the 20. Are you kidding me with this? What a punt. down at the 2.
I mean, we're close to the airport. We might have to call it air traffic control for some of these kicks, man.
You know, our drone pilot, Austin, he's got to communicate, since we're so close to the Tri-Cities airport, he's got to communicate with some of these guys saying, hey guys, just letting you know, like, I'm requesting permission to fly this drone, like, just letting you know it's going to be up in the air. Well, we may need to call on Logan Holbrook's punts moving forward. Perhaps showing up on radar at this point.
Well, now, we talked about getting aggressive, and the one thing that may have taken that out of play is how they're backed up right now, unfortunately for the Wolves.
Let's see what happens. Final minute. Hilton just runs it forward for a few. And, you know, even if Westridge doesn't find any more points here, you've mentioned that you love the aggressive move because you never know. You're one play away.
Yep. Well, trying to do the math in my head, and correct me if I'm wrong, even with the one timeout, I don't think there's sufficient time. And it's going to be a non-factor now for any chance for the Hawks to get the ball back.
And you have to think, as aggressive as Coach Hilton was with that timeout, one of the things that's on his mind here as Hilton continues to pile forward is you can do a lot more bad than good when you start your own drive at the 2.
Yep.
And I think when that punt rolled to the 2, that was the cue for this Westridge team to kind of take it and run to the half. The whole Westridge sideline is heading down to the locker room already with 5 seconds left on the clock. They're going to be very comfortable taking this 28-6 lead over Hardin Valley into the halftime break. What an impressive performance by the Wolves on the ground in this game. Be sure to stay tuned here at halftime as we'll have stats and more coming up. But it's all Wolves here from the Ridge.
In the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, where the spirit of community runs deep, Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services has been a cornerstone in our area for almost 80 years. Founded in 1945, BTES began with a simple mission: to bring reliable electricity to every home and business in Bristol. Through decades of dedication, innovation, and unwavering service, we've powered dreams and brightened lives. Today, we stand as a testament of progress, offering state-of-the-art services while honoring our rich legacy. Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services, our community's trusted resource for energy and connectivity. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
The Westridge Alphas.
All right, welcome back to Westridge. Check out the gorgeous view of Northeast Tennessee. What a beautiful place we live, and a chance to be here on a Friday night. It doesn't get much better than this, as the Westridge Wolves have put on a dominant performance here so far. 28-6 over Harden Valley. Ethan Amix and Justice Hilton leading the way, as not much to cheer about right this second for that student section, but boy, they were lively during that first half, matching the bright neon colors that they're wearing tonight here on neon night and homecoming night as well. We saw football player Caleb Mabb was named the homecoming king earlier. I'm kind of tempted, Ron, to just be quiet and let you watch the view there. But we're going to take a timeout and come back with more halftime entertainment. Westridge Band coming up shortly. 28-6, Wolves at the half.
For 85 years, United Southeast Federal Credit Union has proudly served our neighbors in Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. We're more than a financial institution, we're part of the community. With 6 convenient branches and a team dedicated to your financial well-being, we're here to help you grow, save, and thrive. On the go, our mobile app and online banking make managing your money easy. United Southeast Federal Credit Union, helping our members live better lives.
The BTES Water Heater Maintenance Program is free. Join the more than 17,000 customers who participate in the program, and BTES will install a free load management device on your water heater. In exchange, participants receive free maintenance service calls. If you need a new water heater, you will receive free delivery and installation of the water heater and free emergency service calls, and your participation helps keep your electric rates low. Ready to sign up? Visit btes.net.
Welcome back to Westridge High School. You see the Westridge Marching Band taking their positions on the field as we get a chance to hear from this talented group of musicians and performers here tonight as they try to match the impressive performance from the football team that has jumped out to a 28-6 lead against Hardin Valley here tonight as they get into position here at the half and prepared to delight the home fans with a little music and a show. Here, some halftime entertainment as well for you as we thank you for tuning in on YouTube at BTES Videos, Channel 7, Channel 207. We appreciate each of you for watching Gridiron Game Day again this week in week 4 of our season. Looks like the band is just about ready to go. And we will throw it down to the field for their performance.
Zach Sawyers, Levi Johnson, and Valeria Cannell. Is the Westridge Band ready? Westridge Band, you may begin your performance.
All right, a beautiful performance there by Westridge, and shout out on the aerial views as well as they head off the field. Let's throw it down to Leslie. I think she's got some special friends down there.
I do. I am here with several students that are part of HOSA. I'm going to talk to Flynn. Tell me what HOSA is.
Yes, so HOSA is a student-led club for students interested in pursuing a career in healthcare. It stands for Health Occupation Students of America. So most of the students involved are part of one of our health science CTE course pathways. And what we do as a club is we do community service with healthcare-related activities. We volunteer at nursing homes, activities like that.
And you all have a pretty special project coming up. Tell me about it.
Yes, so we are working with the health department and with EMS, Sullivan County Fire Department, to certify as many people at the school as we can for hands-only CPR. It's kind of like a competition, but we are planning to go to state with it, and then, well, actually, we're going to go straight to state, but usually we have to go to regionals, so hopefully we'll get there. We're really excited about this, though.
And you all are in competition with DB, right, next week with DB's game?
Yes, so that's where we're going to be kicking it off at, you know, DB Westridge, so we're really excited.
All right, so I hope you get a lot of people trained. I hope you win, and thanks so much for spending a few minutes with me, and we will be back right after this.
For the past 4 years,
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Welcome back to Westridge High School here on Gridiron Game Day. I am currently with Taylor, who is a co-captain of the Alphas dance team. Taylor, let's talk about how you all prepared for this upcoming season.
So, as individuals, cheer and dance, we both competed at varsity spirit camps where we grew individually. And then after those camps, we came together and started our spirit routine with 2 collegiate cheer and dance members.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And you all have some competitions coming up.
Yeah, we go to state in November and regionals in December.
That's very exciting. I'm sure that you all are working hard on your routine, and we got to see you all perform at halftime, so great job. Tell me your plans after high school.
So after high school, I plan to go to the University of Mississippi and pursue a Doctor of Pharmacy degree.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks for taking a few minutes to speak with me. And earlier this week, I got to speak to another student here at Westridge High School who is our Burke, Powers, and Hardy Student of the Week. Take it away.
I'm here with this week's Burke, Powers, and Hardy Student of the Week, Levi Johnson. Levi, let's talk about everything that you're involved in here at Westridge.
It's quite a bit. I do first priority, I'm a leader in that. I'm the captain of our swim team. I'm on our track team. I'm the drum major of our marching band, and I'm in our concert band and jazz band. And I'm in our JROTC, and I'm a student ambassador.
That's a lot. So let's talk about being on the swim team. You're getting ready to go into swim season, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Preseason training should start later this month.
So, and then you also said that you're part of the band.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's talk about how you all prepared for this marching band season and what your performance is this year.
Well, our performance this year is called Chasing Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some music from Panic at the Disco, a few other artists, and it starts off kind of sad and then gets really happy at the end. Our season started in May. We met up with the rising freshmen, let them meet their sections. Then we had drum major selection, which myself and Zach Sawyers were the drum majors this year after we auditioned. And Valeria Keneal is our field commander, which means she conducts in the backfield whenever the band turns around. We spent the summer learning how to march, teaching all the new people the skills they would need, memorizing music, and we've still not got all the show put together yet, but we will by the end of the month.
Yeah, before you go into competition season and really performing that over and over. I know we'll see part of that at tonight's game, and as we come back to Westridge, we'll get to see part of that performance as well. So we're looking forward to that. You also said that you are part of the track team. What do you participate in there?
Usually just whatever I need to get the most points for the team, but the coach had me run a lot of distance last year, but towards the end of the season, we found out that I'm a decent pole vaulter.
Okay.
So that's my main event now.
So senior this year.
Yes, ma'am.
Plans after high school, what do you have in mind?
At the start of the school year, I enlisted in the Tennessee Army National Guard.
Okay.
And my MOS is going to be 68 Alpha, which is Biomedical Equipment Specialist, which means next August I leave. I'll be in Missouri for 10 weeks and Texas for 40 weeks.
Wow.
And then I'll go to drill once a month in Louisville, Tennessee, which is around 30 minutes from Knoxville. So that led me to try to go to UT.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you have some great plans for the future and a good path for your life forward. Well, Levi, thanks so much for spending a few minutes with me today, and congratulations on being named this week's Burke Powers and Hardy Student of the Week.
Thank you.
Timeless country.
Oh, play me some mountain music.
She said, here she wants his fancy, don't let me down.
The good stuff that brings back so many memories. 96.3, The Possum.
And that's why I hang my hat in Tennessee.
96.3, The Possum.
Welcome back to Westridge High School here at halftime as Westridge taking control in the first half. 4 rushing touchdowns, 3 of those by Ethan Amix, 1 by Justice Hilton. As we take a peek at some of the numbers here, what tells the story here in the first half. And there's a pretty big story there, Ron, and I see a 0 on that stat sheet there, but I don't think the Wolves really care.
No, I had a coach one time, Chris, tell me when you got a Cadillac, you run it till the wheels fall off. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. And by the way, you and I just talked about this a minute ago. I really, really like what Coach Hilton has done tonight. We've not seen the option very much. To send a message that I like my guys up front against your guys up front, and we're just going to slowly and methodically wear you out. And that's what they've done tonight.
Some individual numbers to go along with these team stats. Ethan Amix, 15 carries, 189 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Justice Hilton, 12 carries, 123 yards, and 1 touchdown. And Jax Brown also has a carry on the night as well. But we've spent a lot of our halftime looking up Westridge records because there are several within reach in this game, specifically talking about this game, but also, I mean, Ethan Amix, I'll tease this a little bit. I don't know how much Ethan Amix we're going to see in the second half. It really may depend on Hardin Valley's response and how close of a game this is going into the second half. Ethan Amix has a chance to become the school's leading rusher in a season tonight in this game through 4 games.
Yep.
That's what kind of season he's having. Let's take a look at some of the big plays that we have seen in this contest here in the first half, and it all starts with this guy, number 1.
Yeah, just turn it up and set the tone just very early in this game. Power running tonight is what we're going to do.
Big time touchdown catch and throw there as Brody Lamb got Westridge on the board. We were 7-6, I guess, at that time, but then Amix just took off again.
And kudos, you know, it's easy to talk about Amix, and he deserves it, but man, let's give some love to this offensive line. The kick-out blocks tonight, the play interior from guys like McConnell and Cito, Tatum, Thornton, Arnold. Oh my gosh, guys.
All right, so you saw all the touchdowns so far in the first half. We are getting close to kickoff here for the second half. We'll be right back right after this. You're watching Gridiron Game Day here from Westridge.
You may know BTES's employees from here and here, but we are also here and there and also over there. We are your neighbors, your friends, your community, and your trusted resource for energy and connectivity. We are BTES.
Ready for the second half as Westridge carries a 28-6 lead into the third quarter. Alongside Ron Marvel, I'm Chris Mangrum. Thanks for tuning in here on Gridiron Game Day tonight and throughout the season, whether it be on our YouTube channel at BTES Videos or just watching from home on Channel 7 or 207 or watching on the BTES website. We thank you from wherever you're watching from tonight. The Wolves will kick things off as Hardin Valley will get the ball and look to respond here on their first drive of the third quarter. And on the return is Jeremiah Brown once again, and hit Orlando Mack. Looked to be in on the tackle as well as, thought that was a 10 for a moment, but it ended up being 18. That's Logan Thompson.
Such a good job in the first half by this defense. Hey, you know, we've not heard much from Orlando Mack defensively or Hayden Music, and I'm going to tell you it's a good thing. They are turning the Hawks into the strength of this defense, and that is on the interior. Great job, too, up front by Mims and Duke and LaRon Smith as well, just controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football, Chris. So impressed tonight with this effort by these Wolves.
I believe a sideline warning here on Hardin Valley. Since we have a second, let's update you on a couple scores from our local teams that we cover. Sullivan East trails 20-13 at halftime against Eagleton College and Career, and Tennessee High is up on Cocke County 21-0 at halftime. So Tennessee High looking for their first win of the season, as is Sullivan East, and in some good games there.
Yeah, Greenville, who we cover next week, is up big right now, 35-3 over Seymour.
First snap of the third quarter. That's Amay to the right side. We saw a little bit of him in that first half.
Perry right there involved on the tackle was Mims as well.
All right, I'm going to put you in the brain of Tyler Wynn, head coach for Hardin Valley. What's your message to your team at the break?
You know, guys, I think what I'm looking for out of this Hawks team right now is to use some of those outside weapons better than what they did in the first half.
Play fake, here's a screen and a catch, and it's Brody Lamb out towards midfield, and Lamb has been the big play guy for them tonight.
Yep, looked at him as they were warming up, very athletic, and once again, press the ball to the exterior, give the guy some space, let him turn the ball up the field. Well-designed play.
Moving quickly here is Hardin Valley, playing with a little tempo as a quick handoff, Rivers right side, and he's pushed out of bounds by Sam Perry. It seems like when Hardin Valley gets a big play, they like to push the tempo.
Yep, and it's working for them right now. They probably need to continue this. It looks like they've got a little bit of fire in their belly right now.
The chains are broken. Timeout.
Oh, never heard that one before.
No, that's a new one there.
The chains are broken. So you get another look here at the Nick Rivers. Okay, what? We heard timeout, the chains are broken.
Isn't that a gospel song?
My chains are gone. Yeah,
okay.
My chains are gone. I guess you could say that's the same thing. All right, now I think we're ready. All right. A short carry there by Amay. Ron, you were quick on that, man. That was pretty good. I guess they got the chains fixed quickly? I don't know. I thought we were going to have a little delay there, but we're underway. Again with tempo. Deep ball open is Rivers. And there's that big play from the speedster, Nick Rivers.
We talked about it, Chris. You know, they kind of they had success there, got away from it. Now they're kind of gone back to it. And now it's going to be up to these corners to see how they adjust.
More tempo. They hand it to Rivers again, right side. And thrown down. And Ron, I think your suggestion for Coach Wynn is exactly what they're doing, getting the ball to the outside and some of their best playmakers.
Yeah, you got that much speed. And, you know, it's just not Rivers. You got Lamb on the other side. You've got good weapons on the outside. Use them.
We mentioned Rivers. You saw him break loose down the sideline. This is a guy that has run a 10.57 in the 100 meters. Here's one of those odd formations, unbalanced. Ame on the pitch. And hit hard right around the 7.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? It's on the boundary side, too. I mean, just, you know, we're going to clog it all up, and we're just going to get behind our blockers and try to move up the field and get as much as we can. Let's see if they stay on that boundary side.
More tempo. Ame again inside the 5 towards the goal line, and he is just shy, I believe. Wow, we've got a change. Oh, here comes that Wildcat formation with tempo here as Samuel Mann is the Wildcat quarterback. Here he comes, and there he goes. Samuel Mann, who we highlighted prior to the game. They love him in that short yardage situation, and Hardin Valley gets on the board, an impressive response on the first play, and they want to go quick on this 2-point try as well.
Yeah, and I keep going up tempo until Westridge adjusts.
Here's a snap. Man does not make it.
I know that 2-point failed, Chris, but boy, did the Hawks need that drive.
Here's the touchdown. As you saw it clear out there, Sam Mann, that is his 3rd touchdown rush of the season. And then quickly, that little pitch out on the swinging gate. And just couldn't get it blocked up. Nice job. That was Tanner Mims, it looked like, who kind of slammed the door there.
You know, this is not a big offensive line for the Hawks. They average about maybe 210, 220 besides for Ragland. But, boy, they're athletic.
You mentioned Ragland as, you know, he's been getting a lot of looks, the big guy.
Yes.
6'5", 265, plays tackle for this Hardin Valley team, and we've got even a connection to our BTES crew, as believe it or not, Durgan's sister is on our crew. She's operating camera 1 tonight. That's Addison, a recent ETSU grad, and there you go.
There she is.
See it from pregame there. That's brother Durgan Ragland, who's got some D1 attention, and his sister Addison wearing the BTES there for us. So kind of fun connection there as the kickoff. Uh-oh. That one did not go in the end zone, and now Mav's got nowhere to go. Well,
isn't this got interesting all of a sudden?
If you're Hardin Valley, you come out and score on the first drive, and now on a bounce, you get this one. Watch this one. That thing just did not want to go in the end zone.
Teed up, didn't it? Look at that. Just kind of waggle right around the end zone line.
All right, so the first snap here for Westridge. They kind of started inside their own 5 on their last drive. Now they start again. As a handoff to Amix gets just a yard. Now we know Amix can break one loose at any time, Ron, but it did seem like late in that second half that Hardin Valley kind of found a way to slow him down a little bit.
They're just keying on him right now, and I think they're going to have to continue to handoff or fake handoff. We're going to have to see some sharing of the football right now.
Big time play and drive for the Hawks there. Second and 9. Amix breaks loose, finds the corner. Amix near midfield, and another chunk run for Mr. Amix. Just another huge run as you see it here.
Yeah, watch out here on the tackle as we get that kick out block, and he's able to follow that lane up.
It's
there it is right there. Yep. Thornton on the outside.
Clearing the way. Lots of, I would say green grass, but we're on turf, so. 1st and 10. Keeper. Hilton nearly falls. What a pitch to Mack. That could have been a play for negative yards there, but falling to the ground, able to get it to Mack to him, though.
And boy, tip your hat to Fields. Look at this pop that he takes, and still somehow, with a guy breathing in on him, starts to stumble and still makes a really nice pitch.
Nicely done by Orlando Mack.
And just when you now there's some work to be done here, but just when you felt like the Hawks had grabbed the momentum, back come the Wolves.
Another pitch. This is Orlando Mack as he is somersaulted forward.
Chris, that nearly looked like a veer right there, the way they ran that. Once again, pulled to the interior, grabbed some attention right there. You see it, even the cameraman kind of locked in on it, and then popped it to the outside with Mack.
And it may have been that Hilton was going to run a more traditional option look, but he had pressure in his face right away.
Yes, yeah, I would agree with that. That's a good call right there, Chris.
Amick's bottled up on 2nd down, but they needed a yard. We'll see how the spot is. I'm thinking he's shy.
Umansky, who's been very active tonight, involved in on that tackle for the Hawks.
All this without putting the ball in the air, Ron.
Yes.
And coming into tonight, Westridge had only thrown the ball 11 times on the season. Have not attempted a pass in tonight's game as of yet. Hilton, and a nice tackle in the backfield. They're getting some pressure there.
Yeah.
You know, Hilton, normally after he fakes that give, he's got a little room, but right away he's having to make a decision.
Yeah, good job right there. I believe that was Sharp, number 24.
Sure was.
Yep.
Coach Wynn told us that Chance Sharp just looks like a guy who can play on Saturdays.
Yes, he does.
4th and short. Westridge going for it. Oh boy, it's going to be close. I'm not sure he got there. The ball comes out late.
Yeah, whistled. Dead. I don't think he made it, Chris.
I don't either. Let's watch the white hat.
Timeout for a measurement.
They can measure it, but if you can see up at the top of your screen, well, let's go back to the replay. How's Arnold trying to get that block there on the right side?
Chris, unless that chain's really broken,
yeah.
This ain't going to work.
Yeah, is it still 10 yards exactly on that chain?
I think this is going to be about
Did
a yard
tie
short.
It in the middle there?
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, exactly.
1st down, Hardin Valley.
Yep.
All right, so Harden Valley gets the touchdown on the opening drive and then gets a turnover on downs. They've got the ball and a chance to make this a 1-score game.
Chris, let's see if they go back to the air. You know, we kind of saw that 3-man stack on the outside that worked for them. Let's see if they go back to it.
This, obviously, that drive did not end how Westridge wanted it to end. As you see the ball come out there, but Hilton's knee was down. We can tell you that Ethan Amick's just broke the single-game rushing record for Westridge. He's now got 232 yards. The record was 208, set by Ethan Amick's 2 weeks ago against David Crockett.
Congratulations to Ethan Amick's. That's big time right there.
Play fake Rivers under heavy pressure, and Hayden Music on the sack.
Good play right there. We go back to the instant replay.
It's unblocked.
He was unblocked. That's somebody you cannot leave unblocked.
No. We told you in the last contest with Westridge and Tennessee High, the game we did here earlier, that Hayden is related to Heath Miller of the Pittsburgh Steelers, his second cousin.
Pass.
And just off target there, looking for Rivers.
Yeah, that wasn't going to go anywhere even if he connects with Rivers. He might have been better off. They might have lost a yard or two right there.
Another look at it.
And maybe Matt's realized that and just threw it down into the ground instead of taking that loss. Brings up 3rd and long right here, Chris.
See what Hardin Valley has dialed up. They've kind of went to the pass here as of late and just spikes it. Big time response from this Westridge defense.
See if we can go back to that instant replay. I don't know if that ball was touched or just
like a double clutch, like he wasn't confident in throwing it there.
That ball almost looked like it slipped out of his hand.
I thought the last one kind of looked like that as well. So, all right, so a big turnover on downs to stop Westridge from driving there, but Hardin Valley unable to really do anything with the football, and now Logan Holbrook will try to flip the field again.
Low driving punt.
This one caught. Jackson Price on the return and met around midfield. So good field position for Westridge to start this drive. Coach Wynn told us that was one of the things he was really worried about with this Westridge team, and the way they run the ball was giving them a short field.
Yeah, and you know, this Wolves team that looked so dominant in the first half has come out maybe a little bit flat in the second half. Let's see if they can't reestablish that offense right here, Chris.
Hilton under center. Pitch Amix. And rolls his way around the 45-yard line.
Garrett Lee right there on the tackle. It just sort of all got,
I think it was Isaac Beeler who may have grabbed on to Amix's leg there as well.
Yeah, I think there was just a little bit too much for him to jump over there.
Pitch this time to Dayton Brown, who finds the edge as a first down and more.
Gosh, get those big bodies out front.
Mack
good
out front.
Yep.
Just looking for somebody to hit.
Jackson Walsh out there too, the wide receiver, taking some pride in his blocking.
If you want to be on the field in this offense as a wide receiver, you better be able to block. 1st and 10. Hilton bottled up and thrown backwards. Several white shirts in the area.
Bull Hilton just pops up so quick, doesn't he?
He's tough. I mean, just watching, that's a lot of big bodies landing on a very small guy. Just a sophomore. But he felt the entire weight right there of Andrew Perkins, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Perkins has had a solid night tonight as well, has responded well
all
to a
around
lot of these
the
blocks.
Football.
Yep.
Here's Mack on the pitch. Bounces off one Hawk. And finds his way up towards the 28.
Now, here's one thing that we can talk about, right? We talked about maybe this offense not being quite as sharp as they were in the first half. But these drives, Chris, are just consuming a lot of time.
And mark this at the 28-yard line. Hilton looks to throw for the first time tonight. Jump ball. It's caught by Jackson Price. He had a Hawk hanging all over him. It was a fight, maybe trying to go for the interception there. That was Owen Vaughn, who's got a couple picks on the season.
What a great adjustment by Price. We go back to this instant replay. Contested ball. He goes up, high points it, gets in front. Oh, the way he had to fight for leverage right there, Chris. Watch this.
All right, inside the 10. Amix met right away.
Keeps the legs driving as he does.
See Michael Arce in there as one of the first Hawks to hit him.
Tryon Rowe as well. Did we say Tryon? Tryon Rowe.
Tryon Rowe, yes.
Yes.
They got some real dudes. I mean, Tryon Rowe is a sophomore. He's a backup, but he could start for a number of teams.
I thought you were going to say they had some names that are difficult to pronounce.
No. Hard count. Got him.
Yep.
Well, that'll move it to the 2.5.
Good job there by Hilton.
Now a big package coming in. How about Tanner
Encroachment.
Mills coming in?
Defense,
on,
number 10.
Here.
Half the distance to the goal. Still second down.
Amix and Mac Wildcat, I believe, here. Now, if you watch college football on Saturdays, you say they jumped across, but they got back before the snap. But in high school, you break that neutral zone, and that is a flag.
Yes.
So here is the Wildcat with Mac and Amix in the backfield. Amix straight ahead. Touchdown number 4 for Ethan Amix tonight, which ties a school record as Ethan Amix continues to pile it on. What an impressive night from the senior.
Chris, I want you to watch it here on the exterior. Music right here with this block as number 15 Perkins is trying to come in.
See Mac kind of go out as a lead blocker as well.
Right there, right there. Great job by Music as he's able to kick out Andrew Perkins, the defensive end, makes that gap even bigger for Amix.
Extra point up and good for Westridge, and a big response. Saw Hardin Valley come out with that big first drive, then get a stop. They started Westridge back late, but Westridge back comfortably in front here in the final seconds of the third quarter. All right, let's take a look at our Chick-fil-A employee student highlight this week, which is Luisa Vela. Luisa is a front of house team member at the Pinnacle Chick-fil-A, and she plans to be a realtor after graduation. And she says her favorite meal is the Grilled Chicken Club. So congratulations to Luisa as our employee student highlight this week. Ron, do you have a favorite Chick-fil-A meal go to? Uh-oh, I put you on the spot there.
No, yeah, you know, my wife loves Chick-fil-A, I'll say that.
Yeah, we're big fans in our house for sure. All right, Westridge kicking off here. And a low liner. Bouncer picked up. This is Rivers. And wrestled backwards right around the 30. So final seconds here of the third quarter. Westridge has a comfortable lead. You see another look here. Rivers, the speedster. I'll tell you, when we talked to Coach Hilton this week, and we kind of said, tell us about Hardin Valley. The first name out of his mouth was Nick Rivers, number 2. Yep. He said, I believe he said, he has all of our attention. They know he can take it to the house in a blink.
You look at that 10.5 speed in the 100, you know, it's going to get a lot of people's attention.
Hand off, and a May with nowhere to go. How about a TFL for Billy Hawkins, the junior?
Billy Hawkins, we called his name a couple times tonight.
There's nowhere to go. Hawkins wins off the block right away on the line of scrimmage.
Trying to get an update, Chris, on the Sullivan East game right now. No, Oak Ridge continues to lead Dobbins Bennett 16-7.
Second and long after the tackle in the backfield. And Almay again with nowhere to go. Looks like he got back to the line of scrimmage. All right, so the seconds have ticked down here as we're heading to the fourth quarter. Westridge with a 23-point lead. And before we get to the fourth quarter, let's send it down to the sideline. Leslie's got a special guest.
Thanks so much, guys. I'm here with Bella, who is obviously a cheerleader here at Westridge. Let's talk about summer camp and how that went this summer.
Okay, so we had UCA camp. It was a home camp this year, and we just basically did a lot of things to prep for game days. We made a lot of new things that we'll be doing for our spirit division and competitions and things.
So where will you be competing, and like what should we expect to see out of that?
We'll be competing at state and nationals, and hopefully we'll be in nationals at Daytona, at ESPN. Just expect us to be doing the spirit division. We're doing a lot of new things this year, and we're super excited about it.
That's awesome. Tell me your plans after high school.
I really want to go to Appy State and be either an event planner, or I really like radiology, but either way, I want to go to Appy State.
Well, thank you so much for joining me for a few minutes. Turning it back to the guys.
All right, getting ready for the fourth quarter.
Chris, we just got that update in the Sullivan East game. It's Eagleton Academy 20, Sullivan East 13. Volunteer, who is 3-0 on the season, is trailing Elizabethton right now in the third quarter, 21-7.
Also, a couple more records have gone down after we tallied them up after the third quarter. Most rushing yards in a game by a team for Westridge in school history. They've broken that. As this third down play, Matz looks downfield at Caleb Mabb. Did he stay in bounds? Yes, he did. An interception for the senior Caleb Mabb on the night he wins homecoming game.
Yep. Have yourself a night there, Caleb Mabb. This ball, I believe, was just underthrown, Chris. Quarterback trying to fade back, and yeah.
That was Perry in coverage. Mabb, the safety, comes up and gets the floater. Speaking of another record that we have found in this game, Caleb Mabb has now the longest punt in Westridge school history. That 56-yarder was the longest punt in the 5 years for Westridge. So all kinds of records falling tonight.
Good pickup by you, Chris.
Hilton hitting the backfield, and there's Andrew Perkins again, who's having a great game. Came into tonight leading the team in tackles for loss with 3 of them, and there's another one.
And I think right now they may be giving, we'll see, I think Amix is getting a bit of a break right now.
Notice that Amix is not in the game here, with Westridge up comfortably. Jax Brown takes his spot. Here's a pitch to Dayton Brown. Brown picks up a nice gain. Nice tackle out on the edge by RC.
We do have a penalty marker right here. Boy, Chris, this second half is just moving.
Westridge very comfortable. Oh, we did see him throw a pass.
Yes, we did.
But
it was a completion.
Offense, number 5, 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Repeat second down.
Jackson Price there, guilty of the hold.
Nice move to elude Sam Mann, the top tackler. And there the flag came in late on Price. Coming into your screen here to your left.
I believe that's a spot foul, so I think we're at 2nd and 13.
Yeah, it took
maybe
place
14.
downfield a little bit. Amix back in the game. Give it to him, ball on the ground. Able to get it back, but nice tackle in the backfield for Chance Sharp.
You're not quite sure if that just bounced off his hands or what that was. Looked like a good pitch.
See. Yep. A little looking downfield before you had the ball there.
Very fortuitous bounce right there, boys.
I just thought he'd had so much success running it the regular way, he wanted a different type of challenge.
Now, Chris, you joke about that. If he'd have broke that off for 60 yards,
Ron,
we'd be talking about it for a while.
Ron, anytime he touches the ball, I'm thinking it's possible. That's how special of a player he is. Hilton keeps this one. Nowhere to go as we have a lost helmet here by Garrett Lee.
You know, I know he's had some longer runs, but I think overall the Hawks have done a pretty good job with Hilton tonight. Particularly here in the second half.
I don't think Lee had the helmet strapped strapped in very well there. It is 4th down. Caleb Mabb is on the field. We saw him, we mentioned he broke that record earlier with that punt. He will not break it here because he doesn't have 56 yards to work with.
It's a good position for Mabb, too. Let's see if they back him up a little bit. And I'm going to be honest with you, Chris, the way that Mabb's been kicking the football.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 0. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
The way he's been kicking the football, I know this is going to sound odd, they may have just done him a favor by giving him a little bit more space to work.
Try to pin it down inside the 10. All right, now watch Rivers. He's the deep man here, and if there's anything that can get Hardin Valley back in this game, it would be a special teams score. But I don't think he'll be able to do much with this. A short one. That one nearly hit a Hawk there, but it rolls innocently down towards the 22. 9:15 to go. I know we were talking about watching the game the other night between the Ravens and the Bills on Sunday night. I think it was a little closer. The Bills came back there in that 4th quarter, but hey, you're talking about a couple big plays. Hardin Valley's in need of one right now if they want any shot of making this interesting late.
I'd say one of the big differences between that game and this one is the fact that Josh Allen's not out here.
Yeah, it helps to have a guy like that, doesn't it? All right, we're going to go ahead and call this one early. 9:15 to go in the 4th quarter. But Ethan Amix is our Eddie's Trophies player of the game. Not sure how much we'll see him the rest of the way, but a school record rushing the football tonight for that young man. Speaking of running the football, May, but a big hit there from Dayton Brown.
Yeah, Dayton Brown's been, didn't call his name much in the first half, but with the Hawks wanting to work the perimeter a little bit more, we've called his name a few more times.
Tempo, sweep, Rivers. And push backwards. It seems like when they do run that tempo, that's kind of their go-to play, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a good point, Chris, and I'm a little bit surprised that we've not seen more up-tempo out of them tonight.
Here's another look at it. Quick throw is dropped. At his man, that's Brody Lamb, who's had a nice game.
Yeah, there's some passes that I'm sure Matt would like to have back. That's not one of them. You can't turn your head upfield before you get the football. As you see right there.
Drop right there.
Yep. Might have heard the footsteps of Sam Perry coming down on him. Be enough for me to turn my head.
Certainly 4-down territory the rest of the way here for Hardin Valley. There's Lamb, 1st down. And Lamb makes a move. Sam Perry crushes him down around the 35. Had to shake that one off a little bit. As you see Lamb get open and doesn't waste an opportunity here, but we're back underway here.
Just run that route, Chris, right there to a post, and you find some space in that zone.
Here's the snap. Matz looks deep down the field. Rivers got it.
Wow.
Touchdown Hardin Valley, and it's Nick Rivers, the speedster, and a little bit of life here for the Hawks.
Yeah, now the last time they kind of closed this gap was a response from Westridge offensively. What are we doing
Illegal shift on the offense. All 11 players were not set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
So wipe the score.
Yeah, let's see if we can go that instant replay and get the guilty party. I don't know if we've got that look or not.
Well, they were moving so fast.
Yes.
They just moved a little too fast.
And if memory serves me, I think they were in that 3-receiver stack and moved late.
So a tough break there for Hardin Valley. The tempo seemed to work a little bit there, especially when you've got one-on-one out with Nick Rivers.
Well, in high school, too, you got to be still for 2 seconds, not just one.
And confusion. But they've got plenty of time to snap this one after the flag. May hit right around the line of scrimmage.
There's an act of sportsmanship right there, wasn't there?
I've seen a lot of that
Tanner Mims
this season. Big time hit.
You like that guy that's going to hit you hard and pick you up when you're done, when he's done.
Screen look. Ame can't get away from Sam Perry.
Boy, Chris, to fight through that block, wow. Olmsted there with the block, and he just shoves him to the side.
Sam Perry, one of the more impressive young men on this roster, wants to go to the University of Tennessee next year after graduation, hopes to be an engineer and potentially walk on the Tennessee football team.
Smart kid as well.
And miscommunication there, looking for his running back Ame out wide.
And you know, when you look at him on tape, he's so good with his arms. He extends well, and because he extends well, gets the blocker off of him, he's able to fight through blocks like that.
And I think another underrated part about his game is he's just so intelligent. I mean,
yes.
You talk about a kid that wants to be an engineer, that's one thing. But he also told us that if it doesn't work out to walk on at Tennessee, he wants to try to be a coach. He wants to try to work his way onto the coaching staff at Tennessee, maybe in a student volunteer type role, and kind of get a start there. Wouldn't surprise me if Perry's an excellent coach down the road. Here's a deep ball on 4th down. And an interception. That is Braylon Vance, his 2nd pick of the year.
And boy, we talked at length this week, didn't we, about Braylon Vance and Hilton as we look at this replay. And just so smart in the secondary, sets other people up so they can succeed, and he comes up with a big pick right there. You know, Chris, he's just one of those more quiet guys that maybe doesn't have the stats that just pop, but just does so much behind the scenes to make his team better.
Just a junior, also plays on the baseball team here for Westridge. Backed up in their own end, it's Amix who powers forward. 99 yards to work with here, Ron.
Yes, you know, I thought Vance actually worked himself into the end zone, but I guess that's not the call.
Yeah, I think he had his forward momentum right around the 2 or the 1. But if you're Westridge here, I mean, you really have a chance to kind of, you really could run this clock all the way down with the way they run the football.
And I think that's exactly what Coach Hilton and his staff are looking at right now. Let's just see if we can get a couple first downs.
How about Amix on a pitch? As he's hit by a man. He kind of struggled with that bobble there. But as you mentioned, Ron, getting Mav a little bit more involved. We knew coming into the season he was a big play threat, but he mostly did that catching the ball, and it's a little tougher to be that in this offense.
Well, you know, we talk about Mav. We've got to acknowledge, too, the time that he spends on defense, and that's something that Coach Hilton said to us as well. Samuel Mann, by the way, involved in on that tackle.
Third down. Here's Orlando Mack on the run. Man again involved in the tackle, but they pick up the first down, and that's exactly what you want if you're Westridge. Just keeping the chains moving, and if you can, it kind of sounds odd, but if you can pick it up on 3rd down and just keep piling on the plays, it works.
Yep, because eventually what you're going to do, Chris, is you're going to force them to use their timeouts, and then you're just going to milk the clock the rest of the way.
And you know, I don't keep a tally on how long the high school football games that I have done are, but we haven't played 2 hours yet, and we're getting to the end of this one. Here's Mack again. And another strong run.
But you know, Chris, when you don't have a bevy of incomplete passes, the clock doesn't stop. And when both teams are trying to run the football like these two teams have.
Well, Westridge has 0 incomplete passes in this game. They're 1 for 1 through the air.
Now, there's a stat for you, Chris.
Yeah.
Go ahead and check his quarterback rating tonight, see what it is.
Well, it's probably not enough attempts to count on that one, but I mean, wouldn't it have to be a 158.3?
I don't know. Yes, it would be a 158.3.
Second and short. Another pitch. Brown. Ooh, maybe ball on the ground, fumble, and Hardin Valley's got it.
Wow.
You know, I was just about to say, Westridge has not turned it over tonight. Now,
yeah.
It's late, and they've got this one pretty much under control. But listen to this stat. Tryon Rowe, number 90, you see him there for Hardin Valley. That's his 3rd fumble recovery of the season.
Some of that's just an instinct for the ball. Some of that's just being in the right spot at the right time, Chris.
Pretty impressive for a back. He doesn't even start. Here's kind of a trick play. That's a handoff to Cruz Furman around the end. And in the end zone for Hardin Valley.
Well, there's a response right there as we get some misdirection. And boy, that sideline just opens up for Furman right there.
I love that play call right there. You need a score quick, and it was that misdirection handoff, and Furman had nothing but room. Big score for Cruz Furman. His first touchdown of the year. And they'll think about going for 2 here. Some late changes. But here's Samuel Mann in the backfield with Rivers. Rivers actually takes the snap. Left side. What a hit.
Oh, wow.
Braylon Vance. Had the interception. Now we have a late flag here for some extracurriculars. And as you see Cruz Furman there, the junior who got into the end zone.
Yeah, I'm interested right now. I didn't see much in the way of extracurriculars, as you just stated, but we'll see what this call is.
I think it was a little talk after the hit, I believe. I'm not sure who, though. See who they get.
The result of the play is the try is no good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 77. That's his first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
So Caden Duke.
Boy, that's out of character for him, isn't it?
Well, let me say this, though. We'll keep an eye on him here. As how about Vance shooting through and getting the here? So watch 77. It's kind of a he's got something to say there.
Oh, can't do that.
Yeah, but earlier this week, Coach Hilton called Caden Duke the emotional leader of the team. And sometimes that emotion can get the best of you, especially on a night where your team has performed so well. So, you know, I don't know that one will come back to haunt Westridge necessarily, but going back to your keys to the game, Ron, we talked about limiting the turnovers and limiting the penalties. Westridge had 100 yards in penalties last week, and when they play pretty clean football, you're going to have to be a pretty solid team to beat this squad.
You know, ifs and buts being what they were, but boy, 4 turnovers last week. Chris, you could make a solid argument and then some. You take those off the board last week against the Cyclones, and they're probably a better than average chance they walk out of Dave Ryder Stadium with a win.
Hey, I know, you know, you get into these weird situations as we're likely going to see what I would expect as an onside kick here for Hardin Valley, especially since they got the free 15 yards as they need the ball. You know, you kind of get into this weird situation about if you can take a play away, you know, if Westridge is 1 play away from being 4-0. Elizabethton would like to have a play back as well, I'm sure, in that game.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly which play it was, too.
Yes, but the truth is, Westridge is very close to being a 4-0 team. Here's that bouncer. It is loose. Finally corralled by Westridge.
Trying to get a number right there.
Okay, it wasn't Mab. That is Goliath Arp. Goliath Arp, who we saw take some quarterback snaps in a scrimmage earlier this year.
And you know, one of the questions we always ask Coach Hilton is who is pushing for playing time? And if you want playing time, it starts with special teams. Very smart right there. Just fall on the ball. Don't do anything. Don't try to get yards. Just fall on it and let your offense run some more time on this clock.
And off to Amix, and it's Umansky again, Ron. He's had a great game.
Yeah, he has, and he just breaks down, is able to shed off that block and just wraps up Amix, which is not an easy thing to do at all.
No, but Umansky's a big, strong kid. He's also listed as the backup quarterback, just in case.
I wouldn't want to tackle him on an option, I can tell you that much.
No. A few more yards for Ethan Amix. This time a pitch. How about the left-handed pitch there to Dayton Brown along the edge? Can you tell, Ron, that this kid is a coach's kid?
Yep, so smart, knows the game, just great instincts on that as we go this replay.
Oh, my. You know how many bad things could happen there? We've seen Westridge put the ball on the ground on pitches like that, but to be able to still find that pitch when you've got a man taking you to the ground, that's just incredible.
And no bigger than Hilton is. I mean, I'm going back. He's 155 pounds. That's probably soaking wet. You know what? To have the strength and the core strength to stand up and pitch that ball right there.
Hilton keeps this time. Keeps it moving forward, just riding the back of those offensive linemen.
And this is exactly what you want right here if you are the Wolves. Just tick,
Hardin
tick,
Valley.
tick.
First time out of the half.
Back to that two-point conversion that we saw Hardin Valley run last time. They didn't get it. It's a 17-point game. So, you know, there's this conversation about when do you go for two? You know, I mean, if they'd gone for the extra point and got it, it'd be a 2-score game. But they were eventually going to need those 2 points anyways, as we see Westridge likely to hold on and get this win here to move potentially to 3-1 for the 3rd straight season. Next week, they travel to face Daniel Boone, who's kind of had a rough season. Westridge will definitely be favored in that game next Friday. And then it really turns up the heat. All 5 of those games outside of Morristown, every game except for Morristown West in those last 5 is a region game.
Yeah, we can talk about that Jeff County game, that being at home, Dobbins Bennett being at home as well.
And a peek at our schedule coming up next week will be at Sullivan East as they host one of the top teams in the area in Greenville. And then we'll head to Tennessee High for a couple weeks as they look to build on their record. I believe they're heading for their first win tonight. Hilton gets a first down. Just slippery.
Yeah. Amix runs alongside of him there, and he's able to keep his balance and keep his feet moving. And Chris, have they used their timeouts, Hardin Valley?
They just did. They just used one to stop it, and now, I mean, it is a 3-score game.
Yeah, you know, at some point in time, you're right. You got to tip your hat if you're a coach and just say, hey, tonight's not our night.
But as we approach these final minutes, let's talk about this Hardin Valley team. Won 1 game last year. This is the 2nd year under Coach Wynn. He's really working hard to build a culture there in a very tough region where you're facing off with a Maryville every year, Oak Ridge every year. I mean, that is a killer division down there that they've got to handle as Amix falls forward for some more, and Coach Wynn calls a quick timeout here.
And you know, to your point.
Timeout, Hidden Valley. 2nd time out of the half.
To your point, Chris, you and I talked about that.
Excuse me, Hardin Valley, 2nd half.
In a lot of years, you've got good football teams staying home and not making the playoffs out of Region 2. I remember a couple years ago, you had a Maryville team as a 4 seed. And it was like Science Hill got the 1 seed, and I think Jeff County almost went, hey, better you than us.
Right. So, you know, so Tyler Wynn, we talked about how he was at Carson Newman, played football and baseball there. He was a team captain on the baseball team. You know he's a good leader, okay, if you're voted team captain of the baseball team. Grew up in Georgia. Said one of the reasons he came to Carson Newman, came up to this area, was because they gave him the chance to play baseball and football. And he said growing up in Georgia, one of the inspirations for him was Jeff Francoeur of the Braves. Francoeur, notably a young star for the Braves there for a couple of years, but he was an excellent football player as well. And Tyler Wynn, he kind of named Francoeur as an influence for him to continue to try to play both. But he's taken on a big challenge, and he said he likes to build programs. That's what he likes to do.
Well, you know, coming out of Valdosta High School, which is a very strong program in Georgia, I wanted to see if that got bounced out for a bit of a gain. Not much there. The Rome
Timeout.
father and son team came
Hardin
out
Valley.
of Valdosta. Todd
Third and
Peterson,
final
who was a
timeout of the half.
long-time NFL kicker, very successful, came out of that program. A number of players out of Valdosta went on to play in the NFL. Good program that he's come out of as an offensive coordinator.
And I believe, you know, I can't remember what year it was, but ESPN did this program called Titletown, and they kind of went around all these different cities that could lay the claim to Titletown, like a Green Bay, and Valdosta, out of all those, was the winner because of the success that they had at the high school level. I think it's one of let me say this correctly. The program with the most wins in high school football history. I'm not sure if they still have it, but they did at the time. And then apparently, I think it's Valdosta State University has also had a lot of success down there. So this, coming out of Georgia, history-rich state of football, and this is a guy that, you know, wanted to come back to this area, be close to home, and have a good experience here trying to resurrect this Hardin Valley program. As Hilton is thrown backwards.
Samuel Mann there on the tackle. We talked about him, how well he moves horizontally. He's able to get him from behind and just kind of pull him back.
That's a big senior Sam Mann there, as we mentioned earlier. That's our two players of the game right there. Two players to watch. We did credit to the truck. They did look it up, and that Titletown was back in 2021, where Valdosta was named Titletown USA. You get a claim like that, you're gonna hang on to that for a while. As lots of Wolves happy here tonight.
Chris, I'll tell you a score right now: Eagleton Academy 30, Sullivan East 13.
Hilton takes a knee, and they do not have to snap it again, as the teams are lined up. But a dominant performance tonight for Westridge on the ground, breaking a school record for the most rushing yards in a game as they defeat the Hardin Valley Hawks 35-18 to move to 3-1. Westridge is now 3-1 for the third consecutive season. And not only that, Ron, but this is a team that has primed themselves to potentially make some noise in this region. We saw Science Hill last week. We've seen Tennessee High play Westridge and Science Hill, and the transitive property does not always work.
No.
You can't just compare it like that. But what we do know is that Tennessee High was competitive with both teams. I think Westridge can really make some noise with the quote-unquote big boys in their conference this year.
Yes, you know, Dobbins Bennett struggling tonight at Oak Ridge, but, you know, it is Oak Ridge. Science Hill tonight just laid out Bearden 35-0. I said that was a game to look at. But, yeah, and you know, you got to tip your hat to the Wolves because they did it in a different way. I mean, of course, they ran the football, but we saw a lot of power running. We saw a lot of inside zone. But when you got Amix, man, you can run a different way and still get big yardage.
All right, big win for the Wolves, 35-18. Don't go anywhere. We've got more coming up here post-game from Westridge High School. Welcome back to Westridge High School. A dominant performance from Westridge on the ground. How about this, Ron? 472 rushing yards tonight, nearly a 500-yard performance from this Westridge offense. And as you often like to say, give credit to Amix, who we'll get to about more in a moment. But this offensive line really paved the way.
Yeah, I saw McConnell coming off the field, and you could just see the joy on his face and the excitement after this performance. And they should be exciting. Hey, listen, running the football is a me against you pride kind of thing. And I think we saw that tonight out of this offensive line for the Wolves.
Well, I know somebody who's probably quite happy with the performance of his team tonight. Leslie's got Coach Hilton.
Thanks, guys. First, I want to talk about number one, Amex. 262 rushing yards tonight. That's amazing.
Yeah, he had a great game. Offensive line did a very good job, blowing those holes open for him. He'd be the first one to tell you that. But an impressive, he's a strong young man that gets yards after he gets hit. And, everybody's keying on him, and he's still making big plays.
And over 450 yards for your team for tonight.
Yeah, offense is pretty good when you're not throwing many passes. So a lot of that's on the ground. Again, our offensive line is just playing outstanding right now.
An amazing game, and really taking this game and pushing forward and keeping that momentum going. How do you do that?
Well, there's a lot of things we need to work on, and I know that sounds crazy, but we were a little lackadaisical there after halftime, kind of had a letdown. We can't do that. We got to learn how to put our foot down and finish.
And the tempo tonight seemed to play into how your team responded.
Yeah, they tried to tempo us a little bit. We'd go fast, we'd slow back down. We kind of settled into that a little bit, but they did a good job. They had a good game plan coming in.
All right. Thanks so much, Coach. Great game. Appreciate you coming and talking to us.
Thanks.
Never enough, is it, for a head coach? Always something to improve on. But I'm sure Coach Hilton pretty pleased with his offense tonight and his defense as well. All right, let's take a look at some of the impressive plays of the night. As you saw a touchdown there, that was Sam Mann. Amix on the Wildcat. This is some second half action here for you. That was Amix's 4th touchdown of the night. Big interception by Caleb Mabb. On his the night he was named Homecoming King, Braylon Vance got in on the action with the interception as well. And it was just a beautiful night for Westridge. Interesting play here as Cruz Furman on the reverse gets in the end zone. That was a big play at the time for the Hawks to try to get back in the ball game, but Westridge just too much on the ground, and you'll see that here. 492 yards for Westridge total, 472 of those on the ground. That's a lot of yards, Ron.
Yeah, what's almost as important is look at that penalty. After 100 yards last week against Elizabeth, and you clean it up only 30 yards tonight. And boy, Chris, as I'm watching those replays, the push up front, the physicality, not just from the offensive line, but also from the defensive line, I think was a tone setter tonight. And Amix is an incredible back, but there was space for him tonight to run.
All right, so a couple notes here before we head out. Some really fun numbers as we wrap up tonight, Ron. We said that Westridge broke the school record for most rushing yards by a team tonight. We said Ethan Amix broke the single game rushing record for Westridge. Caleb Mabb also broke the record for longest punt in Westridge history. And one more number I'm going to leave with you, Westridge fans, coming into next week. The single season rushing record for Westridge by any player in a season is 757 rushing yards. Ethan Amix sits at 704 through 4 games. That tells you the type of season that he is having behind that offensive line here for Westridge, who is now 3-1 after a big win over Hardin Valley, 35-18. For myself, Chris Mangrum, my co-host Ron Marvel, and the entire Power 7 team, what a great job they did tonight. We thank you for watching. This has been a presentation of BTES, your trusted resource for energy and connectivity.